Can you guys see the PDF?
Yes, sir, we can see the screen.
Can you see the PDF? कोई भी yes or no बोल दो. Okay. So before we begin, do we have any questions to begin with related to your preparation? You came across something or felt confused about something, feeling confused about something. Is there a situation like that with anybody? नहीं? To begin then? चलो. अथर्व.
Yes.
Yeah.
Question. Select one element each from the following list. So there are three lists and three options.
Yeah, I know the questions.
Yeah. So my sentence is arrested due to mistaken identity, religious zealot destroy an important government document. Kabir is standing outside a mosque at a small chai tapri. He has a grown sharp beard and a sacred Rudraksh locket in his neck. He's drinking chai at
एक मिनट just can you restart? I lost you. I lost you for a second. Can you just restart? Kabir is standing.
Kabir is standing outside a mosque at a small chai tapri. He has a grown sharp beard, a sacred Rudraksh locket in his neck. He is drinking chai at the tapri. Aman comes. Sir, there it is not Aman. It's a man. A man comes streamingly from the crowd, which is getting out from the mosque after the namaz session. While running, he clashes with Kabir, the man, and Kabir falls down. Kabir looks towards the man. He has a similar beard and face structure like Kabir. The man gets up quickly and runs away. A security guard from the mosque comes running towards the tapri from the crowd. The guard, without any question, grabs Kabir's hand and starts to attack him. Kabir gets confused and initially defends himself, but later he also attacks the guard and beats him down. A policeman standing near the mosque comes and stops the fight. Policeman, क्या हुआ? Guard, ये आदमी मस्जिद से चप्पल चुरा के भाग रहा था. Policeman, क्या तूने चप्पल चुराई? Kabir denies the claim and furiously curses the guard and states he will never enter the mosque as he is a Hindu. The guard curses him back. This makes Kabir angry and he slaps the guard in front of the policeman. The policeman raises his stick and hits Kabir. He holds his hand and take him to his police van. The policeman receives a call. He puts it on the loudspeaker as he was dealing with Kabir. The man on the call, गाड़ी के ग्लव बॉक्स में एक फॉरेंसिक रिपोर्ट है, वो जल्दी से लेके आओ. Policeman, जी sir. He cuts the call. The policeman states to Kabir that he will let go. Sir, there is a mistake. He has to go. So either he accept the theft or bribe him money so that he will let go him. Kabir denies to give money and says, Kabir, मैंने गले में रुद्राक्ष पहना है. मैं क्यों चप्पल चुराऊंगा मस्जिद से? मैं तो मस्जिद के अंदर भी नहीं गया कभी. पुलिसमैन, अच्छा तो चल गाड़ी में बैठ चल. कबीर एग्रीज दिस. ठीक है सर, देयर इज अनदर मिस्टेक. ठीक है. पुट्स हिज हैंड इन पॉकेट एंड टेक्स आउट 500 रुपीज नोट. कबीर, 500 चलेगा? पुलिसमैन से ऐसे हाथ में नहीं, वो उधर गाड़ी के ग्लव बॉक्स में डाल और निकल. Policeman points towards the van. Kabir goes towards the glove box, puts his money. He sees a white envelope there. He quietly takes it and tears it down in 4 pieces, then gets out and tells the policeman that he kept the money and quickly runs away towards the crowd.
And quickly runs away towards the crowd. Okay. Just give me a second. Just let me. Uh, still loving. So, आओ, अरे वाह, अरे वाह, अच्छा है यार, बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है,
जी सर।
बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है। बट इतने सारे स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक्स कैसे हो रहे हैं भाई? अथर तेरे ही
सर
होते हैं, किसी और
सर
का नहीं
वो
होता है।
हिंदी का इंग्लिश में ऑटो करेक्ट हो जाता है, ठीक है का दिस
अरे
हो
तो
गया।
तू ऑटो करेक्ट हो रहा तो रिवाइज तो करेगा ना, भेजने से
सर
पहले तो देखेगा
सर
ना।
वो मैं टेक्स्ट एडिट में लिखता हूँ, बाद में वो डॉक एक्स में जब कन्वर्ट करता हूँ ना, वो उधर एडिट नहीं होता, तो वो अपने आप ऑटो करेक्ट हो जाता है कभी कभी। मैं इनिशियली कर देता हूँ, पर वो कई कुछ कुछ वर्ड्स
अच्छा,
रह जाते हैं।
ठीक है, बट अच्छा है। आई थॉट वाइज तो बहुत ही मजेदार है, बहुत ही मजेदार है। मतलब फिट भी कर रहा है, हर चीज तूने वाइंड अप भी किया है, राउंड ऑफ भी किया है, सब कुछ करेक्टली प्ले है। और विजुअली भी रिच है, मतलब वो
सर आपका वॉइस।
चीजें दिख रही है, सब कुछ दिख रही है।
हेलो। हेलो।
क्या था, फिर उसको बोलता है कि भाई, वो कहता चाहे काम कर, सुन, वो तो क्या 500 रुपये दे और जाने। और कहता पुलिस वाला कि ऐसे हाथ में नहीं, वो उधर गाड़ी में सॉल्व बॉक्स है, ग्लोव बॉक्स, ग्लोव बॉक्स में डाल, डाल और निकाल। ये मुझे ना सॉरी, तो ग्लोव बॉक्स में डाल और निकाल, तब क्या था, और हाथ में।
और निकल निकल मत
अच्छा,
निकालने के
निकल,
बाद निकल
अच्छा
निकल।
निकल,
हाँ।
निकल।
हम्म।
हाँ, ये थोड़ा सा खटक रहा है मुझे कि वो पुलिस वैन के अंदर बैठा हुआ है ना ऐसे।
नहीं नहीं, बाहर ही है वो। फोन आता है उसे, और सिर्फ फोन पर मेंशन होता है कि उधर ग्लोव बॉक्स में है, उसको पता नहीं रहता है, तो वो ठीक है कहता है।
अच्छा,
वो
ठीक है, ठीक है,
कंटिन्यू।
ठीक है, ठीक है, इंटरेस्टिंग है, वो तुमने दोनों चीज कनेक्ट कर दिया। अच्छा, और वो गवर्नमेंट डॉक्यूमेंट भी जस्टिफाइड है कि हाँ, सही है, सही है, सही है। अच्छा है और करेक्टली पेस्ड है, मतलब अच्छी बात है कि रिदम वगैरह सब करेक्टली अपनी जगह सही है। तो कहीं कोई चीज ढीला है या कहीं ज्यादा ही टाइट हो गया ऐसा, आई लाइक इट। बट आई वुड स्टिल not too sure, I won't give you the best mark for this, because तो वही वाली बात है कि कभी डिनाइज का मतलब, चलो ठीक है, स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक्स का तो प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, लेकिन ये सब जो होता है ना, कि जो स्टूपिड वाले मिस्टेक्स होते हैं ना, अब जैसे ठीक है तूने दिसे दिसे ठीक किया, और तूने देखा नहीं, मतलब सी मेरा प्रॉब्लम क्या है, मेरा प्रॉब्लम उस कैंडिडेट से है जो कि थोड़ा कैलेस है, जो थोड़ा केयरलेस है। उस कैंडिडेट वो एटीट्यूड, वो जो एटीट्यूड है ना कैंडिडेट का, वो प्रॉब्लमेटिक है, क्योंकि वो एटीट्यूड वाला बंदा को मैं एफटीआई में लूंगा ही नहीं, कि वो ऐसे ही इतना केयरलेस बंदा है यार, वो आकर के चीजें बहुत ढीला कर देगा या लाइटली ले लेगा, ही वोंट टेक इट सीरियसली। तो मैं थोड़ा सा पहले ही थोड़ा सा बोलता हूँ कि यार कॉशियस कीजिए, रखना है नहीं, you know। ये बार बार कहता हूँ, तेरा ही होता है।
सर जेन्युइनली वो मेरे सॉफ्टवेयर का ही इशू है सर। मैं वो माइक्रोसॉफ्ट नहीं यूज़ किया कभी, इसलिए वो मुझे नहीं आता वो यूज़ करना। वो लिखते टाइम में करेक्ट लिखा था,
हर
टाइप करते टाइम हो जाता है वो।
ठीक है, तो टाइप करके जब तू भेज रहा है, तो तू केयरलेस है, तू केयरलेस है, यही मैं बोल रहा हूँ। टाइप करके भेज ले, जब तू भेजता है सर को, मेल करता है, तो एक मौका मिलता है तुझे रीचेक करके करेक्ट करने का, जहां जहां लाल किंग्स है वो किंग्स को कहीं क्या मिस्टेक है मुझसे, और वो तू चेक नहीं करता हो भेज दो। सर ने कहा 5 बजे तक शार्पली मिल जाता, हो सकता है तेरा शायद 5 बजे ही खत्म होता हो पेज का, तो 2 मिनट पहले शुरू करना, 2 मिनट तो चाहिए ना चेक करने के। ये क्या बात हुआ? चल आगे।
Second question. सर मैंने वो फर्स्ट ऑप्शन चूज किया है, हाउस मेड वर्किंग इन एन अपार्टमेंट फुल ऑफ स्ट्रगलिंग एक्टर्स. Kamla is a
Housemaid working in an apartment was working.
Kamla is a housemaid in Pune. She works in a society where she has around 8 households to work. After completing everyday work of 7 family houses, she at last goes to a bachelor flat who are a bunch of struggler actors. They have a general opposite lifestyle, as some of them don't have any work, so they sleep all day and roam around for meetings, meeting people for finding work in the evening time, and drink and smoke all the night, having some dreamy conversation all night. Kamla has to clean all the garbage and smoke ashes and spilled alcohol every day as she is sick and tired of this. One morning she enters the flat as usual. She grabs the jhadu and starts cleaning the room. She hit the boys with her jhadu who are sleeping on the floor in all that dirt. The boys wakes up. This is the daily routine for her. She says to a boy, कमला आज मेरा पगार चाहिए मेरे को, और बढ़ा के भी मांगता है, नहीं तो मैं कुकर लेके चले जाऊंगी तुम्हारा आज.
आज
The
मेरा
boy-
पगार चाहिए मेरे को, और बढ़ा के भी मांगते नहीं, और बढ़ा के भी मांगते नहीं तो मैं कुकर लेके चले जाऊंगी।
मैं कुकर लेके चले जाऊंगी तुम्हारा आज.
बोल।
The voice listens.
तेरी आवाज कट गई थी, फिर से बोल। कमला आज।
कमला आज मेरा पगार चाहिए मेरे को, और बढ़ा के भी मांगता है, नहीं तो.
Is it his voice which is breaking?
हेलो.
आई एम सो सॉरी, मेरे सिग्नल का इशू। कमला आज मेरा मेरा पगार चाहिए वहां से।
कमला आज मेरा पगार चाहिए मेरे को, और बढ़ा के भी मांगता है, नहीं तो मैं कुकर लेके चले जाऊंगी तुम्हारा आज. द बॉय लिसन्स एंड देन the boy listens to her and then gets up and brings the cooker to her. ले मौसी तेरा घर में जाके पका, और कल से डब्बा लेके आना हमारे लिए. Kamla gets angry and starts to hit him on the legs. She claims that she let them go for 2 months as they resembled as of her own children, but now she is tired of cleaning their lazy dirt. She tells them that every day she will take one utensil from their house until the salary is paid. The boys ignore it for a week and she takes away important cooking utensils like cooker, lighter, etc. Now the boys finally realize the seriousness of the issue and tries to deal with Kamla the next morning. तू तो हमारे आई जैसी थी मौसी, इस पूरे संसार में तू ही तो थी जो हमारा ख्याल रखती थी. Kamla ignores them and takes the induction from the kitchen. The boys panics and begs Kamla not to do so. They promise Kamla to pay her salary on the next Monday. After a hard-fought debate, Kamla agrees. Kamla, अगर तुमने सोमवार को पगार नहीं दी तो मैं सोसाइटी के मैनेजर को कंप्लेंट कर देगी. The boys agrees the demand. Over the course of next week, we see how the boys are struggling for the work, and everything they got is nothing but disappointment. They somehow get their part-time jobs on track and try to support their living while struggling for acting work. On the next Monday, Kamala receives her half salaries. The boy makes her accept it and promise her the rest on the next Monday. Kamala agrees to return all the utensils she had taken.
Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Very interesting characters. Very interesting visuals. So again, except for that stupid spelling mistakes and not revising, for which you will definitely get penalized. But the story, the simplicity of the story, yet complex, interesting characters, if not very complex, and the situations and very relatable situations. Also, because I come from this industry, I know what kind of people they are. So it's a very interesting, right? Very interesting. And I love Kamla's character. It has that motherly touch as well. She doesn't simply just quit or no. She's not saying she's not hard bent someone. It's like yeah, maybe the boys agrees with the one. It's
He
somehow
is trying to
well.
get them
एक
on
मिनट
track.
एक मिनट next Monday. So ये सब चीज ह्यूमन बना रहा है देखना ये जो तुम्हारा एक लाइन है ना यही एक लाइन से इतना ह्यूमन बन गया ये स्टोरी इतना ह्यूमन बन गया कि you touched me कि next Monday as promised वो हार्डबेंड ना कमला नहीं थी कमला was not किनी अभी बहुत तो वो उसने अपने पैंथर्स थ्रो किया ये द बॉयज उसको आधा ही पैसा दिया। लेकिन वो प्रॉमिस को वो पूरा समाप्त होता है and she went. तो ये this makes it more relatable and real. So these are those moments in the film in the story which makes it really good. So it's a very interesting it's a very it's a beautiful story.
जी सर
Okay. कोई और सवाल जवाब
नहीं सर आज नहीं कुछ
और डायलॉग भी बड़े
हाँ वो एक्सेंट में लिखना का ट्राई किया था थोड़ा दोनों स्टोरीज के लिए
हाँ बट मेरे को एक चीज और शायद यहाँ मेंशन कर देना चाहिए सर इसकी जितना न्यूट्रल एक्सेंट रखोगे उतना अच्छा है क्योंकि यू नेवर नो वो एग्जामिनर जो है वो कहाँ बैठा है उसका वो दिल्ली में बैठा है हो सकता है वो सिक्किम में बैठा है यू नेवर नो वेयर इज दिस पेपर गोइंग टू बी रेड एंड who will be reading it. So try not to go too very specific of a reason. Try to make it a little more universal, a little more क्या कहते हैं रेगुलर kind. इक्का दुक्का वर्ड और इक्का दुक्का अंदाज is good, is very good. That brings in that nuanced specificity, but don't make the whole conversation sound like only people from Maharashtra, possibly only Mumbaikars will stand this line. नहीं तो उसके ऊपर प्रेशर आ जाएगा कि अरे ये क्या बोलना चाह रहा है ले मौशी अब मौशी जो है ना ये बिल्कुल हार्डकोर मराठी का तो आई सस्पेक्ट कि दिल्ली वाला या बिहार वाला अगर एग्जामिनर रहेगा वो मौसी को एक सेकंड लेगा डिसिफर करने के लिए अच्छा ये मौसी को वहां तो मौसी नहीं बोलेंगे वो मौसी को
ये सर
तो ये सब चीजें जो है ना थोड़ा सा उसको वो कर देंगे डिस्टर्ब कर सकती है और वहाँ फ्लो जो है वो फ्लो टूट सकता है तो ये सब चीज थोड़ा सा न्यूट्रल की तरफ रखो
ओके
fair enough let's move on Rupesh Kumar
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
yes Rupesh
So for the first question, I chose while searching for a lost umbrella, an honest blue-collar worker becomes obsessed with a stranger. So the
तो
title
ये
is Never
ब्रैकेट में
Forget.
क्या है वो जरूरत नहीं ना भाई तूने
Yes, sir.
एग्जामिनर को पता है वो क्वेश्चन तो तूने अलग से जो ई डी और बी किया है ना ब्रैकेट में वो कंफ्यूजिंग
हाँ हाँ yes.
उसको एक स्ट्रेट लाइन में रखना चलो
All
ठीक
right. So the title is Never Forget. Sanjay, a 32 years old man, was searching his umbrella near a tea stall while drinking his tea. A 13 years old slum boy came to the stall and asked for tea. He turned his head to Sanjay and kept staring at him. That irked Sanjay. Why are you staring at me? He asked. The boy kept staring. He approached him. What's the problem with you? Where are you from, huh? The boy stepped back and nervously replied, My dad is lost. And you look like him. Hearing the boy, Sanjay calmed himself and asked, Where do you live? In the slum area. Come, I'll drop you there. He paid for the boy's tea and made him sit on his bike. I had a son just like you. He died when the bridge collapsed 6 years old. I am sorry, sir. It's all right. They reached the boy's home and Sanjay said, I'll leave now. Take care. Can you meet my mother? The boy asked. I don't. Please, sir, she will feel good. Sanjay sighed and said, All right. They entered the boy's home, which was made of clay with no proper shed. He could smell the sewage. Mother, mother, the boy shouted. A woman wearing an old rugged sari came from the kitchen and saw the man. Tears rained from her eyes as she ran towards him, grabbing his legs. Ma'am, I'm not her husband. Ma'am, he said while pushing the woman away. Hey boy, could you ask your mother, what are you saying, dad? The boy replied. What the hell? The man pushed the woman away and escaped the house when some of the slum dwellers stopped him. Hey Vinesh, you're back. I thought we lost you when the bridge collapsed. You're changed, friend. One man from the crowd said. Hey, look, I'm not what you think, he replied. Dad, come inside. We have a lot to discuss, the boy said. I'll call the police on all of you, he yelled. I live in Bandra West, not in a slum. Did you forget? Did you forget all due to the injury? The man in the crowd asked. What injury? When the bridge collapsed. Oh, shut up. I work at JKL company for 6 years. I had no injury. Yeah, they gave the jobs to people who lost their family in the incident. Then they laughed and said, Oh, I know. You want money, you dirty insects. The boy came from the house with an umbrella in his hand and said, Dad, is it yours? Sanjay looked at him with shock and said, Yes, you thief, you took my umbrella. It was yours. We kept it since you left. The woman from the house replied, I can't be looking for an umbrella for 6 goddamn years. Leave me alone. Sanjay said as he pushed the crowd and ran to his bike. You all are messed up, he said as he left the slum. Jesus Job took his medicine and slept.
We are in the back. While searching for a lost number, you around you are eating food on the street. Becomes obsessed with it. Some- uh, I had a son. Yeah, रुपेश
Sir,
ये भाई एक अभी इसमें थोड़ी दिक्कतें हैं बहुत सारी पहली बात तो बहुत 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 कंफ्यूजिंग है
yes.
you have to understand it. I think you joined very late, so it's okay. I'll repeat this again. You have to understand that the examiner is under extreme pressure. We are just 7, 8 of us here right now, and it's a 25-page PDF. Okay. You
Yes, sir.
have to understand that this examiner who has to finish all the answers, the same answer of, let's say, at least 300 people, you know, and he has to submit his marks by tomorrow. तो उसके सर पे ना एक्सट्रीम प्रेशर तो उसके लिए ये ऑप्शन ही नहीं है कि वो पढ़ करके फिर से पढ़ने वापस जाए कि अरे क्या लिखा है तुमने यार अरे अच्छा से ये पढ़ के अच्छा अच्छा और वो पढ़ने के बाद भी उसको कंफ्यूजन में ही हो सोए कि वो जाए कि जब हुआ क्या लेकिन समझ कि लास्ट में वो करा करके मेडिसिन लिया और उसका मतलब क्या तो पहली बात तो ये बहुत कंफ्यूज है और तू वहां बैठा नहीं रहेगा एक्सप्लेन करने के लिए कि भैया अच्छा सर व्हाट आई मीन So first
Yes.
thing is stick to simplicity. Stick to very simple, very simple narratives without compromising. I keep repeating myself, without compromising your imagination. Run your imagination wild, but stick to simple sentences, simple plot lines. Okay. Second problem, which I have again mentioned several times to the rest of us, is that use minimal dialogues to communicate if at all there's a situation that you've been given. You know, even if it says use dialogues, do not stick or do not describe the whole scene in dialogue. Even if it is saying, so, do not communicate, do not convey the whole of the story just in dialogue. तो उसमें क्या होता है प्रॉब्लम? पहली बात तो सबसे पहली बात तो कि डायलॉग समझ आता नहीं है, डायलॉग्स ऐसे नहीं लिखता है वैसे मुझको लगता है कि ये कहीं का बीच का है, स्टोरी भी मेंटेन किया और डायलॉग वो ऐसे होता है। हम अभी स्टोरी लिखना जानते हैं, 20-22 साल से हम स्टोरी लिख रहे हैं, लेकिन डायलॉग राइटिंग हमें नहीं आता, स्क्रीन प्ले राइटिंग नहीं आता। हम तो ये शब्द शायद 6 महीने पहले पहली बार हमने लाइफ में सुना। तो don't go there. Stick to prose, stick to story writing, stick to a third point person perspective. Stick to that which you're an expert on. You've been writing a story in passages, in paragraphs for almost 20 years. Okay? So stick to that. You are an expert there. You're not an expert in this format. Very well. Second thing, because now I have to decipher कि जो बोल रहा है sentences, इससे मैं पहले तो मीनिंग निकाल रहा हूँ कि ये स्टोरी में क्या हो रहा है, और उसके बाद मैं एक निष्कर्ष या कंक्लूजन क्या है। दूसरी बात, तुमको ये बहुत कम पॉसिबिलिटीज देता है डिस्क्राइब करने का। डिस्क्रिप्शन का तो तुम्हारे पॉसिबिलिटी खत्म ही हो गया ना, क्योंकि तुमको अब सब कुछ डायलॉग्स में कम है। तो अगर उसको दर्द हो रहा तो तुम अदरवाइज डिस्क्राइब कर सकते ही इज फीलिंग पेन। अभी तुम डिस्क्राइब नहीं कर सकते हो, अभी तुमको लिखना पड़े, वो कुछ तो बहाना मारे, कुछ तो लाइन बोलेगा जिसमें दर्द हो रहा है उसको निकल के आए। अब वो मेरे लिए डिफिकल्ट इसलिए है क्योंकि मैं इतने प्रेशर में, अब वो बहाना जो भी मार करके लाइन देगा, उससे मेरे को समझना है कि अच्छा वो बोलना क्या चाह रहा है, अच्छा वो बोलना चाह रहा है कि उसको पेन तो मेरे लिए डबल टास्क। इस जनरेशन लॉस है, इस वन जनरेशन ड्रिफ्टेड फ्रॉम द मेन। So don't get me. So if I'm confused, if I think that I'll have to go back, अरे कुछ तो मिस हो गया क्या मेरा, अरे I have already decided that I'm going to punish you. I won't give you all the marks. So don't get into this dialogue writing. The whole thing is in dialogue. Make the dialogues mini. Okay. So anyway, otherwise, I honestly, even after going through it again, I couldn't really, I can't confidently say I've got one. He reaches home, he takes medicines and he sleeps. इसका क्या मतलब? वो सही में है वो बंदा, उसका बाप, या फिर वो नहीं है? और अगर वो सही में, हाँ बोल।
Sir, so what I wanted to show, it's not certain whether he is the boy's dad or not. So he just leaves. That's it.
So you want me to also, मतलब you don't want it to be, uh, uh, you want it to be an open kind, right?
हाँ हाँ
अभी यहाँ पे देखो भाई लोग सबके लिए. So even for an open-ended story, there are two possibilities that you end the reader or your listener or your audience either in confusion, or you leave him in a state of ambiguous, or state of the ending is ambiguous. Ambiguity is okay. Ambiguity actually अच्छा है. Confusion, state of confusion अच्छा है. समझ रहे हो? When
Yes.
he's very clear कि अच्छा it is an open-ended thing, that is wonderful. But if he's not too clear कि ये open-ended मतलब ये ये open-ended है या मैं मिस कर गया कुछ या confusion हो रहा है, that is not expected and accepted. समझ रहे हो? Ambiguity अच्छी बात है, confusion अच्छी बात है. Am I making sense?
Yes, sir.
Cool. और कोई सवाल? सवाल है क्या तुम्हारा?
Yes, sir. For the dialogue thing, the second question again, I wrote majorly dialogues. So for me personally, writing, scenes and describing some action with scenes, it's describe not action, but maybe an emotion with a scene just by stating a line that he is sad. So it's it feels like I'm not being creative and imaginative. So I try to
No, I get it.
do that. So
I'm getting you. It's not about that. Imagination has nothing to do with the format. No. How is imagination or anything to do with format is what uh, what is the form that you have accepted or you have adopted to communicate your content. What is the content?
So-
Content जो है वो दो लोगों के बीच की बात है या जो भी है और वो इंटरेस्टिंग कुछ कैरेक्टर है कुछ प्लॉट है पर कंटेंट है कैसे फॉर्मेट को तुम यूज करके उस कंटेंट को फॉरवर्ड कर रहे हो प्लेस कर रहे हो तो एक बंदा है जो सीन में लिखता है स्क्रीन प्ले के फॉर्मेट लिखता है जहाँ डायलॉग्स आ जाते हैं और डायलॉग्स ही सिर्फ तो नहीं होते हैं स्क्रीन प्ले में भी तो डायलॉग्स ही सिर्फ नहीं होते उसमें भी डिस्क्रिप्शन होता है उसमें भी एक्शंस होते हैं उसमें पैरेंथेसिस होता है उसमें फिर जाकर डायलॉग्स होता है बहुत सारा चीज भूमिका बनता है उसके बाद वो डायलॉग निकलता है स्क्रीन प्ले फॉर्मेट
yes, sir.
अब चूंकि हमें वो आता है नहीं तो हमें लगता है कि क्योंकि तुमने जब जब तुम डायलॉग्स तुम्हारे अंदर तो वो क्लियर है वो कहाँ खड़ा है वो कैसे खड़ा है और फिर क्या बोल रहा है क्या पहना हुआ है, वो दिख रहा है और तुमको लगता है कि मुझे भी दिख जाएगा मुझे कहाँ से दिखेगा
Yes.
दिखाओगे तब क्या पहना है कितना लंबा है कि छोटा है मैं उसको इमेजिन कैसे करूँ विजुलाइज कैसे करूँ जब तक वो कैरेक्टर को विजुलाइज नहीं कर पाता मैं उसको जो भी कह रहा हूँ वो मेरे लिए काइंड ऑफ मीनिंगलेस हो you know what will you prefer listening to a podcast or watching the same thing same content in a visual form you
Visual past.
obviously no because there's an added communication happening because there's another sense that is occupied or deciphering the content and then it's easier for you to understand which is your eye so at
Sir,
this
uh,
yeah, right.
sir, I was saying that suppose, like in the second question itself, I wanted to show Karthik isn't much connected with the child and he doesn't care much about the child. So, what I did is that Karthik often gets confused with whether his child is boy or girl. We always get confused.
Anyways, hold on.
So,
Let us first read the question. Then
uh,
what I'm trying to say is stick to what you know. Stick to what you understand, what we have been doing for the last 20 years. And do not get into something which you do not really know understand. No. मैं तुमको undermine नहीं कर रहा हूँ. What I'm saying is even I do not. Even after 20 years in being in profession, I've written at least 5 or 6 full-fledged feature lengths. Yeah? The dialogues have been written by somebody. मतलब इसका मतलब ये डायलॉग नहीं लिखा डायलॉग लिखा था वो डायलॉग राइटर पे स्पेसिफिकली डायलॉग राइटर जो कि सिर्फ डायलॉग लिखते हैं उनके पास जाता है और वही डायलॉग जो मैंने लिखे थे उसको और रिलेटेबल बना करके और करेक्ट करके और प्लेस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में प्लेस करके वो फिर पर उसका वो मेरे मैं भी उसका एक्सपर्ट ये कहने के वो गेट समथिंग दैट वी नॉट चलो पढ़ते हैं सिंपल
sir, one more thing can I ask, or should I ask it after reading this question?
Sorry, वो breaking.
Uh, Sir, I had one more question. So, should I ask it right now, or should I ask after reading this?
No,
Answer?
let's read them. Let's read that.
Okay. So, question number 2 is write a story for a short film of around 20 minutes duration with any one of the following characters. A, housemate. So basically choose B, the chain smoker trying to quit smoking before the birth of his first child. So my answer is Karthik, 29-year-old man talking to someone on call in
No,
hospital.
hold on. If you have chosen B, why aren't you mentioning it at the very onset, at the very beginning of your answer? Why aren't you mentioning it? Okay, yeah, B is my chosen statement. And then you
sorry,
go
sir, I
to
forgot.
that. And then also the title. These are two very important things. अब क्या है तू ऐसे देख ठीक है तेरा ये सबमिशन जो है वो पढ़ करके और फिर उसको समझना पड़ेगा कि अच्छा तूने कौन सा वाला किया है। हालांकि वो समझ में आ जाएगा, लेकिन फिर भी व्हाई आर यू गिविंग दैट एडेड प्रेशर, यू नो, एडेड
Yes, sir.
टास्क टू डू, कि भैया मैंने पहले पढ़ लो फिर समझ जाओ कि मैंने कौन सा वाला किया। वो तो डेफिनेटली कुछ पनिश करेगा।
Yes, sir.
ठीक है, चला।
So I chose B option, a chain smoker trying to quit smoking before the birth of his first child. Karthik, 29-year-old man, talking to someone on call in hospital. Karthik, what stage is it? Stranger on phone. Sir, if you could meet me, Karthik, just tell me. It's fourth one, sir. The last one. Mm-hmm. Ravindra, Karthik's father, calls him. Uh, Ravindra, come here, talk to the doctor. Karthik, coming that on the phone. Listen, I'll come take the report. Don't tell anyone. He cuts the call and runs to his father. Karthik, what happened? Then he go inside. Karthik goes inside and comes a while back and faces dad. Karthik, it's I mean, boy. Ravindra, what? A boy or girl? Karthik, it's a boy, sorry. Ravindra sighs, or can I meet her? Karthik, yeah. Uh, Karthik opens his phone to check his bank statement and finds 3 lakhs in his bank. He mutters to himself, Karthik, dad's pension, 5 year savings, around 50 lakhs minus EMI and 4 lakhs. He gets a call from his father, which he ignores and goes inside a smoking. Smokes a cigarette to feel relaxed. A while later, he gets a call from his wife. He hesitates to pick up. Karthik, yes. Karthik's wife, where are you? Everyone is there. Uh, Karthik coming. Are you smoking? No, I hate you. She cut the call. A while later, he enters the room where his wife was admitted. Everyone surrounds him and starts congratulating him. Karthik, thank you. He smiles at everyone. He sits with his wife as everyone starts to leave. Karthik's wife, have you seen her? It's a girl. God, are you still high? Sorry. Have you held her? I will. It's not like I'm going anywhere. So are you happy? Karthik stands up looking out of the window. What happened? I have cancer. It's bad. What? When? I got to know today. There's no chance. It's all because of smoking. I know. I'm sorry. What now? I may live for 4 to 5 months. What are you thinking? I'm thinking of leaving. That's fair enough. Shouts, leave. We have a son. Wife shouts, daughter. Could you please? Karthik, yeah, we should save money for her and not waste on me. I will just back away from your life. You can do whatever you want. Remarry a good man. I know I won't. We'll do something together. You leave your smoker friends and live with us. I think even if I do that, I can live for more than a year. Like you just said, you have 5 months. Karthik, that's why I don't quit smoking. Wife shouts, a stupid man, go do whatever you want. Karthik leaves the room looking at his daughter through the window glass. Throws all his cigarettes in the dustbin and later clean just one out of. Yes, yes.
ठीक है, कहीं मिस कर गया था। That's good. Rupesh, this is not very good. I'll tell you. I'll tell you what the problem. ये सब ठीक है, ये सब अच्छा है, ये सब अच्छा है, लेकिन एक बंदा अच्छा तो नहीं है। आप पहली बात तो, एक बंदा ही गेट्स टू इन्फॉर्मेशन, he सब has a post stage and that he just had a thought. That's a wonderful starting point to begin. That's a very, very intense dramatic. But I read, how do you expect the characters to behave in that situation? I can't relate these characters. See Karthik behaving the way he behaved, the way he got the news, the fourth stage and the daughter. और मैं भी चलो ये भी पकड़ लिया, मान लिया उस मोमेंट में ही And then moments later, he meets his wife. You know, he gets a problem. Where is he meeting his wife? First time.
Yes, sir.
Where does he meet? Sorry, he meets his wife here. Really? Okay. Where are you? Everyone is here coming. Are you smoking? No. I कफ करता है तो आई यहाँ भी ठीक है तो qualify later in fine. Just not going to start. He's even starts. I've seen her God behind. I will help her. I will not. I will. It's not like I'm going. So are you happy? Her hands up, looking outside, out of what happened? I have cancer inspired. यहाँ तक भी ठीक. पहली बात तो ये ऐसे सिचुएशन में अपनी वाइफ को इस तरह से शेयर करेंगे आई लव बट ठीक है हाँ व्हाट व्हेन वाइफ का जो ये व्हाट व्हेन इट्स वेरी फनी है will she react like that in real situation if I tell my wife I am super if I go and tell her I have cancer and force pain will she react like this I doubt I got no to take chance so because of this there's no chance that will she utter this because of this I know what now I will live for 5 months. What are you thinking? I will live for 5 months. Will the wife react to what are you thinking? Is there a description? What goes? What happens to you? What does she go through? Will she immediately snap with some other question? Or will she pause? Maybe will she take her time? Take her time. Will there be a silence? All that is what I am expecting from a description. When you describe, you would get the chance to describe the scene, the space, characters. वो सब मिसिंग है मैं क्या इट साउंड वेरी फनी एक्चुअली कि अभी भी बोला कि मैं 5 महीने ही सुनता हूँ उसकी अब क्या करें व्हाट आई थिंक क्या सोच अभी ये क्या सोच रहे हो का बहुत सारा मीनिंग हो सकता है सोच क्या रहे हो ये भी हो सकता है आई एम थिंकिंग ऑफ मीनिंग दैट्स फेयर इनफ शाउट्स हु लीव्स या तुम जाओ पता नहीं क्या दे हैव अ सन डॉटर और वो चिल्लाएगी क्या ऐसी सिचुएशन में उसको डांट डांट करके उसको क्या मिल जाए मरने वाला डांट करके क्या इट्स अ वेरी badly conceived character and badly conceived plot it was a wonderful premise to begin but you just ruined it some imagine करना तेरे को करना चाहिए क्योंकि ऐसे सिचुएशन में एक वाइफ और ये सब क्या बीतेगा will they shout at each other? Will there be silence? What will happen? I suspect there will be immense, extreme silence. Possibly they will not even talk to each other for the next 20 minutes because they will both be lost. Even if this daughter, baby that has just arrived, all that happiness will daughter will just vanish. Where is that? It's a very poorly conceived story.
Yes, I understand. So, sir, one thing which I can identify as a mistake is that what I thought while writing the story was because I had that certain word limit, I had to cut down. I thought if I cut down the description part, the dialogue will carry the story. But as you said,
No,
the
it's very stupid.
reader
No,
won't.
because the
Uh,
same see for the same number of words, if you get greater chance to describe that moment, you get greater chances to allow those silences, those moments, those body language, those just freckles of the eye, or just a slight movement of the hand, and those moments dramatize the scene. You know, in very
uh,
shorter sentences, you get to convey a lot. बट डायलॉग में तो तुम you're limited वो लाइन बोलेगा जो बोलेगा उससे मीनिंग का और डायलॉग में भी होता है ये है गुड डायलॉग राइटर इज वन हु कम्युनिकेट्स मोर by not saying that line. Who can convey that line without uttering that line. It's more to do with subtext rather. तो ये बहुत गंदा एक तेरा वो बना दिया है. तुमने कैरेक्टर और प्लॉट को बहुत हल्के में किया. और दूसरा कि तेरे पास तूने अगर ये भी मोड लिया होता, आई थिंक अगर ऐसा मोमेंट आता ना, तो ये सब बात करती क्या डायलॉग वाइफ की आई वांट विल डू समथिंग टुगेदर, ठीक है. Even if I do that, I can. You said you are fine. That's when I. You stupid man. Do whatever you. ये क्या गुस्सा होगी कैसे? वो गुस्सा होगी या वो बिल्कुल सन्नाटे में चले जाएगी. More about going numb. It's a hell of it's a bad mood. It's not like some stupid की चलो ठीक है अब कोई बात नहीं, तुमने बकवास काम कर दिया, कुछ करना पड़ेगा. कुछ नहीं कर सकते. It's more like तुम इसको प्रोज में भी लिखे होते हैं, पैसेज में भी लिखे होते हैं, तो भी स्टूपिड ही साउंड करता है.
Yes.
वो थोड़ा सा सोच, इसलिए बोलता हूँ कि पहले सोचो. कितना टाइम लिया आपने इसको लिखने के लिए?
So I did this under like 18 minutes. Yes.
तो सोचा था पहले कि सीधा घुस गया पहले?
So I thought about कि एक character होगा and he he's gonna hear the news about his cancer, and because he's a chain smoker, so it kind of made sense that okay, he will have cancer after some point of time. So when his daughter came into this world, so he got to know at that day, and
ठीक है,
he will
समझ
try.
समझ. मेरा सवाल कुछ और. सोचा, you should spend some time. If you're giving me 20 minutes to write the answer, give at least 2 to 3 minutes for me to get something. 4 minutes in mapping out the words, in figuring out who the characters are, in understanding subconsciously what are they possibly going to talk, or what are they possibly not going to talk. All that happens, all that thought has to be done before you start practice. You have to give that extra time, give that time before you jump on it. That's a very important step. क्योंकि उसमें फिर दिमाग बहुत सब कुछ, तुम्हारी गलती नहीं है, क्वेश्चन अभी भी मिला है, गरम गरम मिला है, टाइम नहीं है, स्ट्रेस में हो, आंसर लिखना है, तो दिमाग हो सकता है क्वेश्चन को थोड़ा मिसकंस्ट्रू कर ले, या थोड़ा क्वेश्चन को आंसर बेटर आंसर हो सकता था, लेकिन क्योंकि पहला थॉट आया उसमें गिर गए. इन सब चीजों को थोड़ा स्थिर होने दें, उसके बाद फिर आंसर.
Knowledge.
ठीक है, चलो विल मूव ऑन.
Excuse me, sir.
यस, यस श्रुति.
Sir, you said something about a good dialogue and subcontext. I missed that. Could you repeat that? What did you say about that?
Papa, I don't remember what. Give me some more context.
Said,
Hello? Can you hear me, Shruti? Hello? I don't know if it is my signal or if it is yours, Shruti. I can't hear you.
We can hear you, sir.
Can you also hear Shruti?
No, we can't.
Oh.
Shruti is not audible.
Oh, Shruti, it's okay. We'll come back to you, Shruti. We can't hear you. Could you repeat your question once? Maybe try repeating your question once.
hello, am I audible?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Sir, I was asking, you said something about a good dialogue depicts subcontext and something related to that. I don't remember exactly.
Anyway, what I was trying to suggest is conveying a story, conveying a mood, conveying a thought structure. through dialogues is very difficult. So do not attempt. No. Why? Because dialogue writing is another department. It's another world. It's a different thing. So when I have written my screenplay, finished my screenplay with dialogues, by the way, we still give it to a dialogue writer to do a refined job. Because I am not an expert in writing. No. So a dialogue writer who gets heavily paid for writing just the dialogue. No. And we think it's like, yeah, यार dialogue ही तो लिखना है. But no, sir, it's a different ball. Okay, communicating effectively, correctly, through words, through the spoken words of your character, is a very different thing. We do not know at this stage. Even I, after having spent almost 20 years in the field, I am not very sure. I know, but it takes a lot of time, and I don't have that time. See? And hence I hire a dialogue writer. Because a dialogue, effectively, what it is trying, how it should ideally be placed, is when when the audience gets to understand what is being said without even being said. When the characters say something or do not say something or say something else, yet they mean something else, in the context of the entire picture, then it becomes effective. हमें वो कला आता ही नहीं, हमें लिखना आता है स्टोरी. हम 20 साल से लिख रहे हैं स्टोरी, हम 20 साल से डिपेंड कर रहे हैं अपने पैसेजेस, वो वाला फॉर्मेट, तो उसी में चिपके रहते हैं ना. Why should we add the burden of writing a dialogue where we think we are smart there, but we are not. So all the dialogues and these words, at times they are meant to be read differently by the reader. We do not know that. We are using straight lines, straight answers, one-line answers, one-line statements that the characters are making. Now that makes it sound very much like some stupid TV ka show or some college ka theater ka scene ka डाल. तो वो कहाँ से उसको वेटेज मिली? तो हम लेकिन वही कि हम उतने ही वर्ड्स में या से बहुत कम वर्ड far more effectively you can actually communicate a lot more. You can design the entire scene. We can do a lot more. We can define those characters. We can get into the nuances of those characters and that space and the plot. We can do so much more and make the characters speak, but very little. And even when they are speaking, the attempt should be, what are they talking? Is it something straight information, or is it something when we are in a state of mind, we tend to say something else? For example, simple example, live example. I don't know if you have noticed, by the end of the class, usually I tend to get tired, and then I start losing my words. I am mostly at a loss of words. I find it difficult to express. I find it very difficult to explain. I sound very repetitive. Now, that dialogue, I say, if I'm a character of a film and I'm behaving like that, it suggests that I'm tired. That is the underlying thing that is to be taken by the audience. Not what he's talking, not what he's saying. The fact that he's tired and he's, can't put him, that makes the audience realize, oh, this guy is tired. It's a very subconscious game that we're playing. वहां पे हम डायलॉग वो काम कर रहा हूँ, क्या बोल रहा है वो मैटर नहीं करता है, बोलने से क्या क्या चीजें हो रही है, उसका सबटेक्स्ट क्या है, उसके अंतर्निहित क्या चीज है, उसका अंडरलाइनिंग क्या मीनिंग, वो उसका मतलब बनाता है. समझ गए? तो
Yeah, and to achieve that in the short number of
Exactly.
words is also very difficult.
Exactly. It's impossible to achieve a very beautiful, effective, dialogue, story through dialogue. It's very difficult in 15 minutes or 20 minutes. So stick to what you do. Stick to what you're an expert of. practice what you have been an expert. on. चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. Odin,
Hello, yes, sir.
Odin, am I pronouncing your name correct? Is
Yeah,
it
it's just-
Odin or is Odin?
Yes, Odin.
Okay.
Yeah. Shall I start, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, question one, I was arrested due to mistaken identity. An honest blue collar worker plans the perfect murder. Title The Spark. Joe Ramirez, a man of routine, a blue collar welder with crease stained hands and a heart full of quiet pride. He woke up every day before dawn, kissed his sleeping daughter goodbye, and headed to the factory where his hands shaped metal into bridges and buildings. Life was simple, honest, and that was enough. Until the night everything shattered. Joe never saw the man in the dark uniforms until they were dragging him from his truck. Shout, cuffs, the cold blight of injustice. A neighbor's drunken accusation, a face that looked like his, that was all it took. Mistaken identity, they said, a terrible error, they claimed. But the damage was done. His name was dragged through the mud, his job disappeared, replaced by whispered rumors and cold stares. His wife, unable to bear the humiliation, left with their daughter. And the real culprit slipped away, leaving Joe to rot behind bars. When he finally walked free, the world outside had turned its back. But Joe wasn't a man to crumble. Behind the worn hands and tired eyes was a mind sharper than steel, methodical and precise. He began to plan, not out of anger, not out of rage, but out of deep, burning need for justice. The man who was behind his downfall, Detective Alan Sutter, had escaped scrutiny. Sutter, the arrogant cop who had bulldozed truth in favor of easy arrests, hiding behind badges and lies. Joe studied him, every routine, every weakness. He sketched out Sutter's home, his habits, his vulnerabilities. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Joe turned himself preparing for the perfect moment, a clean strike, leaving no trace, no no mistake, yet in the quiet moments, doubt crept in. One rainy evening, as he watched Sutter through the window of a bar, the loss of family, the stolen years, the injustice that hung heavy in the air. Joe's plan sharpened, but so did his conscience. In the end, the vial in his pocket remained untouched. Instead, he gathered the evidence, Sutter's lies, the fabricated reports, the corrupted cases, and passed it silently to someone who could make a difference. Mary, a quiet librarian who had seen the shadows in Joe's eyes, became the guardian of truth. When the scandal broke, it shook the police department to its core. Sutter was suspended, investigations launched, and Joe's name slowly began to clear. Joe watched it all from a distance. No fanfare, no praise, just the steady rhythm of life, rebuilt brick by brick, wilt by wilt. He wasn't a hero. He was a man who refused to be broken. Sometimes justice isn't about revenge. Sometimes it's about the spark you ignite in the darkness, one flame that can burn down the walls of corruption, quietly, methodically, perfectly. And the end screen would be sometimes justice doesn't wear a badge. That's it.
Now give me a more. I'll take another one.
Sure.
It's going to be a long. You have chosen arrested due to mistaken
Yes, sir.
and honest blue collar worker. You've never tried. अब देख भाई, do you understand Hindi?
Yes, sir. आता है मुझे.
Okay, now,
Yeah.
now you have to understand. There are so many problems here.
Sure, sure.
The biggest problem is कि um, uh, many things are happening. Too
Sure.
many things are happening. Far too many for me to even
Mm.
keep this thing out. Far too many
Sure.
things. Now suddenly I realized there was one character, Mary,
Yeah.
who comes towards the end of the story.
Yes, sir.
अब भाई ये सब ना glaring mistakes, मतलब ये सब वो वाले mistakes है कि तू you can't ignore. If
Mm.
Mary is any which way important, she should be mentioned somewhere here in the first, first
Yeah.
three paragraphs. Because she's an important character.
Yeah.
Otherwise, mentioning here is very confusing. आप ये नया कहाँ से है कि मैं quiet library, but
Yes, sir. I imagined her as, a background, like an extra from in the first few scenes. बस background में बस observe कर रहा है सब कुछ.
so
ऐसा
तो
कुछ.
वहाँ क्यों नहीं mention किया था? Observe किया था मतलब
हाँ.
how do you want me to kind of read this now towards the end of the story? But I'm trying to and still trying really hard to understand what is happening. Because दूसरा problem, another
Yes.
problem. Your English is very, again, this is a very common problem actually, just not your problem.
Yeah.
It's just, I think you're coming in for the first time, right? First, it's
Yeah.
your first day. So, which is why I'm trying to explain. This is not a test of your English language. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
This is not a test of how crookedly or how interestingly you can write your phrases.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Stick to simple sentences.
Sure.
But focus on your plot. Focus on your characters.
Yes.
Yes,
sir.
All this not out of anger, not out of rage, but out of a deep burning need for justice. He began to plan on this, not out of anger. ये एक simple line में भी लिख सकते, ठीक है? The man who behind his downfall Sutter had escaped. ये mistake शायद PDF करने में बहुत escape school. Sutter, the arrogant cop who had bulldozed truth in favor of easy arrests. Now, ये तुमने तो बहुत beautifully लिखा है actually. Hiding behind badges and fines. It's a beautiful literary sentence, English. But hi, it is giving me an added headache कि भैया अब इसको मैं थोड़ा सा पहले तो इंग्लिश को समझूं, इंग्लिश को सिंप्लीफाई करो अपने माइंड में और फिर स्टोरी पे आओ.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So for the examiner, it is absolutely not correct if you're trying to if you want to crack the FTI entrance. FTI entrance का मकसद है ये entrance crack है. वहाँ मकसद है जो भी तुम्हारा स्टोरी पढ़ रहा है वो खुश हो जाए, उसको ज्यादा स्ट्रेस दिमाग में नहीं पड़े और फिर भी वो तुम्हारा एक एक चीज को बहुत इजीली ले पाए, एक्सेप्ट करें.
Sure.
Without having to spend even an ounce of extra gray matter on what you do.
Yeah.
So focusing on your character, on your plot, compromise, that becomes primary. That is very important. And then letting it come across through some strange sounding English.
Sure. Hanji, sir.
So I don't know if you're getting point. Be simple. Be absolutely simple. But
Yeah.
I'll give you. Did you read the first answer here? No.
Yeah.
Now, this English is again another problem with this English. I'm not saying it's problematic, but ये simple था, to accept. It was very simple to follow and
Yes, sir.
and which is where you did not tend you focus more on the characters. You realize okay what the characters are. You realize the plot points. You realize as a reader, you realize what kind of a space is because it's a simply written.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one is not paying too much attention on the literary inputs. Rather, you're driving them straight into the story.
Sure, sir.
वो ध्यान रख.
Mm.
So अगेन व्हाई बिकॉज यहाँ हमें क्या प्रूव करना है कि हम मास्टर्स हैं इमेजिनेशन,
Yeah.
हम मास्टर्स हैं कैरेक्टर्स के, हम मास्टर्स हैं स्टोरी के, मास्टर्स हैं प्लॉट के, हैं
हाँ
हम
जी।
इंग्लिश के मास्टर हैं या नहीं है वो मैटर, बट
सही
हम
है। Yeah.
इसको सिंप्लीफाई करते हैं ताकि वो बैरियर रहे नहीं, and you never know, the reader, the examiner who will get a paper might not be actually from a very uh, strictly wonderful English background, maybe possibly
Sure.
he may not have had this exposure of this
Yeah.
sentence, so don't get into this complex
Sure, sir.
writing style.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
Like in the first question, it says write down a sentence by joining these three parts. Uh, and now use this sentence as a plot and write a cinematic story. So, sir, if they ask cinematic story, like, can we write anything like proper screenplay या फिर like prose ये सब भी लिख सकते हैं?
तो वही स्क्रीन प्ले तो तुमको लिखना ही नहीं है, तुमको आता है क्या स्क्रीन प्ले? नहीं
अच्छा, हाँ।
आता, तू वहाँ एफटीआई जाएगा तब तेरे को स्क्रीन प्ले सिखाएंगे वो।
अच्छा, हाँ।
So you don't know screen, and they are
Yeah.
assuming you don't know the screen.
Okay, okay. So I wrote this prose in a screenplay form, and then I looked at the question again. So and then I changed the answer again. ये first वाला का. So I was a little confused at that time.
Maybe it's fine. It's okay. Hey, you better make these mistakes here. No.
Okay, yeah, sure.
I'm so glad that you all are making these mistakes, and which at times
Yes, sir.
sound so stupid and so frustrating, but it's okay. It's wonderful because you're getting a chance to, understand. Oh, this was a mistake.
Yes,
Because
sir,
otherwise,
yes.
you wouldn't even have understood that it is possibly a mistake, or it is possibly not the correct. So it's okay. It's wonderful.
Okay.
Huh?
Okay.
But then try and understand the whole the idea of this examination. What are they looking for? They are looking
Yes.
for creative people,
Yes.
imaginative people. They're
Yes,
just
sir.
looking for that pride, that क्या बोलते हैं? Drive,
Yes, sir.
who are creative, who are imaginative.
Yes, sir.
वो चाहे वो I have also often mentioned people that at times, like if somebody of my caliber was there, in fact, I have done it myself also in my exam, my
Yeah.
written exam, which is why I can say this very clearly. I think I have used Hindi also in my submission,
Yes, sir.
because
Okay.
वो thought का जो flow है, because I was never an expert in English. I have never had this command in English. I don't have it. So my thought का flow जो है ना, it happens very weirdly. English,
Yeah.
and then suddenly I might start feeling कि Hindi. So I have never stopped myself. So because
sir.
that flow of the thought is more important. Communicating that thought is more important. By hook or by crook. That thought is important. That idea is important.
Yes, sir.
That imagination is important. So stick to it. Get to that. ठीक
Yes,
है?
sir.
Don't think कि मैं तेरे को ये सब डांट रहा हूँ या चिल्ला रहा हूँ, ऐसा कुछ नहीं.
नहीं, sir.
I'm just trying to be, so that just
Yeah.
go straight into it. Okay, this is how we do.
Okay, sir.
ठीक है. और कोई question है या should we move on?
Okay, that's it. Can we move on? Yeah.
We have done both the answers, no?
No, I've done only the first one.
Oh, only the first one.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I chose number A, a housemate working in an apartment full of struggling actors. Maria, a hardworking, sharp-eyed housemate, cleans a modest, cluttered apartment in Los Angeles. The apartment belongs to Eric and Lena, an aspiring actor couple caught in the grind of auditions at rejection. Maria is invisible to most people, but intimately knows the couple's daily life, their dreams, their frustrations, their fragile love, through the traces they leave behind. Scripts on tables, bruises on knuckles, unopened fan DMs. Maria enters the apartment early morning, slipping off her shoes, ready for another day. The camera lingers on small details, a worn out script, a cracked mirror, empty bottles of cheap wine. She quietly moves through the rooms, wiping away dust and tension alike. Maria overhears a heated argument between Eric and Lena. Through the thin walls, Lena wants to quit acting. Eric refuses. Their dreams feel like sleeping sand. Finds Eric practicing a monologue in front of a mirror, frustrated and exhausted. She watches silently, almost as if rooting for him. Later, Lena breaks down crying in the bathroom. Maria quietly offers a small bottle of water and a gentle presence in the chaos. Maria discovers a forgotten audition tape on Eric's laptop. She watches it secret. He is raw, vulnerable, but undeniably talented. She makes a decision. The next day, Maria surprises Eric with a printed copy of a flyer for a small but promising local casting call. One she found by talking to neighbors while cleaning. Eric is hesitant but thanks her. Maria's confidence and subtle support ignite something in him. Eric and Lena prepare nervously for the audition. Maria cleans silently in the background, watching with quiet hope. And the outro would be Maria leaving the apartment, a small smile on her face, outside the bright LA sun rises, casting long hopeful shadows. That's it.
No, I didn't get you now. I didn't get the last part. What is it?
Yeah. It's the outro, sir, like, after after the resolution. So it's just about
It doesn't.
her.
So you would say it doesn't. It doesn't really end here. You have another line after that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't finish on time, sir.
Okay. Fair. No
Yeah.
worries. No worries. Okay, but we'll get to that much later. So let's understand what you.
Yeah.
Because there are several flaws.
Yes, sir.
Very glaring flaws. पहला problem. अच्छा, where do you come from? Arjun? By just for my understanding.
I am from Nagaland,
Very nice.
Northeast.
Very nice. Lovely. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Now, what do you tell me? So, why did you pick and choose this space, Los Angeles? Why didn't you pick and choose somebody or people from Nagaland who are struggling, or people from,
Oh.
let's say,
Sir,
चलो ठीक
yeah.
है, ends that.
Yeah, I took this inspo from, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the film, the sequel, I mean. So I took some inspiration from there. So yeah.
That's another problem, by the way. But
Yeah.
because that suggests that you're not creative.
Yeah.
So don't let that happen.
Yeah.
So
Yes, sir.
rather took something which may not be so hard hitting, but still original is original.
Yes, sir.
दूसरा flaw क्या है ना? Flaw ये है basically what I felt. पहले ही I was questioning the very premise. Why? Because LA में the point is a housemate working in an apartment full of struggling actors.
Yes,
LA
sir.
is a costly city, very extremely costly city. One of my senior
Yes, sir.
friends, he lives in.
Yes, sir.
He's an actor. So affording a housemaid for struggling actors is itself a big question. I doubt, because they're
Yes, sir.
surviving very differently. They are themselves almost working part-time jobs, which are almost like maids.
Yeah.
So वहीं पे ही problem शुरू है. हमने कहा. Second
Yes, sir.
problem is your characters are not so relatable.
Yeah.
Because
So I tried to focus more on the housemaid rather than the actors, so that the story will
no,
revolve
I said
around.
characters. Characters,
Acha.
matlab, even the housemaid is a character.
Yeah.
So even the housemaid is not very relatable. So I'm reading it as if I'm reading a story, based in some
Yes, sir.
unknown space. I don't know that space. I don't know these people. I don't know their the way that they everything. I know people who I deal with every
Yeah.
and possibly every other examiner will actually be knowing people around him. So we have to be smart. We have to be smart. We have to appease the examiner. We have to make him, cry or laugh or smile.
Yeah.
So how can we do that? By making things relatable to him, by making things easy for him to
Yeah.
accept. That will be that should be.
Yes, yes. I'll keep in mind. Yeah.
So because I lost the plot somewhere around here, somewhere. I totally lost it. उसके तो I stopped following actually. कि उसको कैसे मिल गया वो लैपटॉप में, मेरी को कैसे मिल गया,
Mm.
उससे पहले ही क्वेश्चन मार्क्स आ गए कि क्या हो रहा है मुझे समझ नहीं।
Yes, sir. So I spent a lot of time in the first question that I couldn't just process this one.
No, which is fine.
But yeah.
But I hope you're understanding what
Yes,
not
sir.
to do next time.
Yes, sir. I will. Yeah.
ठीक है, any question you have? Or should we move on?
That's it, I guess, sir.
Fair enough. Now also wouldn't pay attention to other answers and feedback on the class.
Sure, I will. Yeah.
You stand to learn a lot from this.
Yeah.
Fine.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Cool. Abhinav.
Yes, sir. I'll begin.
Yes, sir.
So for the first question, I went for trapped in an abusive relationship, an out of work artist becomes obsessed with a stranger. Pain and glory. Ved is a 26-year-old lanky fellow staying in Andheri. He has curly hair, an unkempt beard, and likes wearing a kurta over his jeans. It's not hard to figure out that he's an artist. He's in a live-in relationship with Madhuri, aged 25, who is a really attractive woman. She's a struggling actor. From a distance, her warm and welcoming eyes give the impression that she is kind, but let her looks not deceive anybody. Whenever Ved and Madhuri have a difference of opinion, Madhuri's first reaction is always a slap, and her second is pulling Ved's hair tightly. Despite Ved bringing up her problematic behavior, she refuses to change her ways. As Ved has been experiencing a creative block and therefore not getting commissioned requests as such, Madhuri has been irritated with him more than ever before. She has been getting a lot more work recently as an actor in advertisements, and for the last 4 months, she has been paying the rent, including Ved's share. This situation has led to an increase in violent behavior towards Ved from her end. Yet, amidst all this, it's difficult for Ved to leave the relationship because he's always had attachment issues and he feels emotionally dependent. One morning, when the electricity bill is dropped at the letterbox, it gives Madhuri another opportunity to go off at Ved, where she starts abusing him. But this time, even before she can hit him, Ved runs out of the house, almost flying down the stairs, and runs out of his runs out of his complex and runs almost 50 meters ahead before realizing what just happened. He gets down, hands placed on his knees, crouching, trying to gather his breath. He looks around to notice if anybody is looking, but in a hustle-obsessed city like Mumbai, no one really cares. Ved starts walking slowly on the pavement, lost and confused. Suddenly he stops and a sight catches his eyes. A middle-aged man is lying on the ground wearing just a tattered lungi. He's wailing. Ved keeps on observing him. He starts noticing every small detail: the checkered print of the man's tattered lungi, his bare chest smeared in dirt, his bony shoulders and receding hairline, and his eyes that don't stop crying. Something awakens in Ved. He sits down next to the man and starts taking a keener look and ends up touching his face. The man gets startled. Ved, अब घबराओ मत, बस ऐसे ही बैठे रहना. Ved takes out his phone, opens the Paint app, and starts sketching him. His face lights up with a smile. He can already imagine the sketch in its final form being exhibited at an art gallery.
Just give me.
Yes.
this way. Uh, one. बहुत अच्छा, बहुत अच्छा.
Thank you, sir.
So, what should I say? Uh, okay. So, इसका एक ही है कि the characters Ved and Madhu.
Yes,
So I got to realize what Ved is definitely.
right.
But I think I थोड़ा सा I think माधुरी भी क्या कैरेक्टर है, उसका
Right.
क्या कैरेक्टर, वो तो अब्यूजिव है, वो तूने लिखा है, पर वो बहुत ज्यादा वो माधुरी बहुत कार्डबोर्ड कटआउट वाला टू डायमेंशनल कैरेक्टर थी.
Got it, sir. Yes, yes.
So थोड़ा सा उसको उसको एक आध लाइन में ही या एक couple of words में you could have actually made her sound more real character.
Right.
So I mean, she's sounding very black and white.
Right, sir.
That could have, and that would have actually made this, because
Yes, sir.
if she's so, you say Wade finds it difficult to come out of the relationship.
Yeah, but then how does he just randomly run out that one day? Right.
Uh,
Right. I agree, sir. Yes.
So all this is summing up. There's like it seems like something is amiss. Something somewhere is not correctly. Of course. And for how long have they been together?
That I haven't mentioned.
Okay.
That
So that again, that information will add to my understanding.
right.
वेद भी ना बहुत वो अपॉर्चुनिस्ट साउंड कर रही है, इतना थप्पड़ खाता है और बाल नोच लिया जाता है और ऐसा कार्य होता है. ये सारा चिका हुआ है वहां पे, क्या मतलब, निकल जाओ वहां से, आर्टिस्ट है तो आर्टिस्ट का अपना कैटेगरी नहीं है, निकल जाओ वहां से, क्या प्रॉब्लम, लेकिन वो निकल रहा है. तो वो भले ही उसके इश्यूज है, अटैचमेंट इश्यूज है, किया है कहीं पे, लेकिन फिर भी है, आर्टिस्ट तो और ज्यादा सेल्फ प्रेस्टीज उसका वो मैटर करता है.
Right.
Artist is more like, so थोड़ा सा defined हो कैरेक्टर का दोनों ही, not
Yes,
just
sir.
Madhuri, even Ved. It will only help you, only add to the plot.
Got it, sir. We'll try that in the next answer.
And the other thing, the third thing, when you describe this man in Lungi, let's just read this part. Ved keeps observing, starts noticing every, and he got a middle man lying on the ground, wearing his tattle, he's failing. Ved keeps on observing him, starts that Lungi, his bare chest smeared with earth, his bony shoulders and receding hairline, and his eyes are not soft time. Something up with him, where he sits down next and starts taking a keener look and ends up touching his skin. The man gets stunned of the problem. First, ऐसे ही बैठे रहना. Wayne takes out his phone, opens the paint app, and starts sketching it. भाई उसको फोन पे क्यों करवा रहे? We carried. He came out running and coincidentally had his sketch pad on him somewhere, in his pocket or in his one pouch that he always carried. And
तो लाइक ये मैंने सोचा था एक्चुअली कि मतलब मेरा जस्टिफिकेशन ये था इन द माइंड कि वो उस मोमेंट में, चूंकि वो इम्पल्सिवली घर से भाग जाते हैं उस मोमेंट में, उसके
I
पास
know.
शायद उसके फोन के सिवाय और कुछ ना हो, मतलब.
हाँ करेक्ट है, तेरी बात सही है, बट भाई इतना ये वाला लिबर्टी ले सकते,
Got it,
क्योंकि
sir.
I have never come across an artist of
That is true, yes, sir.
painter or some sketcher or them, without their sketchbook. They
Yes.
always carry. वो मीम में भी चलेंगे ना तो भी कहीं तो they are that obsessive about the sketch and something. So वो करता, उसमें दो चीज होती है, एक तो ये कि थोड़ा सा और रिलेटेबल हो जाता है.
Yes, sir.
फोन पे पेंट ऐप पे वो आर्टिस्ट है तो क्या ही डिजिटल आर्ट कर रहा है, मतलब अजीब से कुछ साउंड. He sounds lesser of an artist.
Got it.
So And also, he sounds a little opportunistic. He sounds a little exploitative. He, he says, भाई आपको पढ़ाओ मत बस ऐसे ही बैठे रहो. And ऐसे ही बैठे रहो को मैं पढ़ रहा था ऐसे ही रोते रहो. No. तो बस आप ऐसे ही रहो. वो बेचारा वो बंदा वो गरीब बंदा जो भी है लुंगी वाला उसका रिएक्शन क्या होगा? साउंड करता है थोड़ा सा ही नेगेटिव साउंड करता है करेक्ट
Right.
बट विच इज ओके ऐसा कुछ नहीं बट स्टिल
Got it, sir.
could have phrased it a little differently maybe
Right.
he shows he is passionate and he is compassionate rather and he makes him he comforts the guy comes out of him comes away from him and then again maybe steps back and goes back and starts doing stuff without the guy, without the loony guy noticing. अभी तो लग रहा है कि ऐसा लग रहा है कि आप बैठो ठीक है बस ऐसे ही रोते रहो मेरे को 5 मिनट ये साउंड में वो टाइप है ठीक है अच्छा नहीं अच्छा क्यों वो भी बता अच्छा है क्योंकि इसका अपना क्लियर कट डिफाइंड ओपनिंग मिडल एंड एंड स्टोरी वेरी डिफाइंड वेरी सिंपल रीड में एक बिगनिंग मिल रहा है जहाँ कैरेक्टर्स मिल रहा है स्पेस मिल रहा है प्लॉट पॉइंट प्लॉट मिल रहा है प्रेमाइस मिल रहा है सब कुछ मिल रहा है बस पार्ट में मिडिल पार्ट में मेरे को बहुत क्लियरली डिफाइंड एक्ट 2 मिल रहा है जहाँ सारा स्ट्रगल हो रहा है जहाँ बन रही कर रही और फिर जाकर के एक्ट 3 में वेद की किस्मत खुलने का एक होप मिलता है शायद अब मुझे चाहिए ठीक है नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. For the second question, I've gone with the chain smoker who's trying to quit smoking before his first child is born. Kishore is a 32-year-old working as an associate consultant at an accounting firm. Everyone is scattered across the street outside the office building, enjoying their smoking break. Kishore is also one of them. Kishore's colleagues ask him about when his wife is expecting the child and says that she has been pregnant for the last 8 months. As he starts saying this, his mind gets caught in a thought where he imagines a young kid coughing incessantly. His colleagues poke him, breaking him away from his state, and they start walking into the building. Later that day, when he returns home and is having dinner with his wife Pragya, he tells her he's going to quit smoking since their first child could be born any moment. She doesn't quite believe and says, "We'll see." The next day, when Kishore is at the office, he refuses to go with his colleagues for a smoke break. He's jittery and anxious at work, and going completely cold turkey over years of chain smoking is not easy. Wherever Kishore is, whatever he's doing, he's listening to Alan Carr's anti-cigarette audiobook on repeat. When Kishore returns home one day, Pragya hugs him and kisses him on the forehead, saying that she's proud of him for quitting smoking. She further asks him to talk to his boss the next day and ask about his pending promotion now that a kid is on its way. The next day, when Kishore talks to his boss in his cabin, instead of listening or offering any support, his boss abuses him, hurling insults and saying that his performance has been really poor, and yet he has the audacity to ask for a promotion. Feeling dejected and humiliated, he walks out of the office, buys a full pack of cigarettes, and smokes away his frustration. As the days go by and the workload continues to pile up, Kishore finds himself slipping back into old habits. Consumed by guilt, he picks up drinking in addition to smoking. One night, he returns home drunk while Pragya stays up anxiously waiting for him. When she approaches him, she discovers he's not only drunk, but is smelling of smoke. Sir, some additional word has come, I don't know how, and bursts into a fit of rage, screaming at him. In the midst of this chaos, Pragya's water suddenly breaks, prompting Kishore to rush her immediately to the hospital as he calls a cab. Kishore waits outside the delivery room. He receives Pragya's parents and tells them that at any moment the baby could come out. As he's engaged in a conversation with them, Pragya's father asks him if he wants to come out for a smoke with him. Pragya's mother lashes out at her husband, saying that here a child is going to be born any moment, and the only thing that's coming to his mind is smoking. Kishore feels even more guilty. The nurse comes out of the delivery room asking Kishore to come inside. He walks inside nervously and sees Pragya with the baby in her hand. He goes near her and kisses her, and she asks him to hold the baby. As he holds the baby in his hands, he cries too. And in that moment, he realizes that no work pressure or problem in the world would make him go back to smoking because his life had a new purpose.
Okay. Fine. तो अभी मेरे को एक ही दिक्कत है।
Yes, sir.
पहले तो भाई, पहले तो जो जो तुमने सेंटेंस चूज किया है जिसपे आंसर बेस्ड है वो लिख, मिस कर दिया। अभी मेरे को फिर से मतलब वो रिमाइंड करवाना करना
So, हाँ, sorry, sir. हाँ,
क्या एग्जैक्टली क्या है वो
question. हाँ,
क्वेश्चन, ये
एक-
क्या है?
हाँ, सर, एग्जैक्ट क्वेश्चन जो है वो है कि एक सेकंड, एक सेकंड,
मिल गया शो।
हाँ,
A chain smoker trying to quit smoking before the birth of his first child. तो अभी इसमें, and by the way that should be a part of your answer, huh? All of
Got
you, for all of you. Because what I face right now, any examiner will face. If he's already clearly mentioned ऊपर में कि this is what I am attempting, it's so easy. It becomes really easy. Okay, moving
Yes.
in. So what I missed in this entire write-up was his struggle. No, although
Got
it's a very, again, it's not a very deep struggle that he's feeling. It's a very superficial struggle that he's
Yes, sir.
feeling. In what sense? एक तो ये भी है कि भाई जो smoke, do you smoke by any chance?
I used to in the past, but now I've quit it for some months.
And do you drink?
No, I don't drink.
Okay, fine. So smoking is a very different problem. Drink, it has nothing to do with drink.
Yes, sir.
ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं स्मोकिंग छोड़ दूं तो drink, तो फिर तंबाकू खाना and गुटखा खाना,
Yes, sir.
सब अलग अलग है। तो जिसकी बीमारी हो उसको वही चाहिए ही, कोई रिप्लेसमेंट। तो ये ना, ये थोड़ा सा स्ट्रेंज लगा जब कहता कि वो कहता कि आज से मैं स्मोकिंग छोड़ दूंगा, दारू, है ना, वो थोड़ा सा स्ट्रेंज, वो इन सब चीजों के कारण ना, it makes it sound a little superficial. See?
Yes, sir. I agree.
And then also it's all very external struggle, whatever that you what about his internal struggle? What about his internal problems? What about his what he goes through when he maybe when he refuses to go with his colleagues for a smoke break? What does his body go through? What does his mind go through? He's
Yes.
jittery and anxious at work and doing for years. ये एक लाइन नहीं समझ, यहाँ तो तुमको मौका मिल रहा है खेलने का,
Got it,
यहाँ
sir.
तुमको हमारा मौका मिल रहा है कि वो उस पे एक्सपैंड करके because that is what the question is. The question
Right.
is a smoker who is trying to quit smoking because of the newborn baby is about to come. So quitting smoking का जो वो है, क्या बोलते हैं यार उसको, क्विट करने, विड्रॉल सिम्टम्स, ये जो भी ऊपर
Yes.
के उसके जो बाकी सिम्टम्स हैं वो तो मुझे चाहिए ना, वो उसको कैसे चाहिए, एंड वो भी इंटरनल्स है लेकिन वो एक्सटर्नल के रूप में ही आएगा, जैसे कि इफ इज कंफ्यूज,
Right.
quitting smoking makes people a little confused, makes them go a little, things are out of focus, his mind is foggy, he's but how do you express that? His mind is foggy, maybe he takes the cup, goes to the coffee machine and forgets why he had come to the coffee machine for. So that foggy or confused mind is reflected in his action. So these are things that are conveyed, the internals are conveyed in the external actions. So I needed more of those moments. How is he? What is he going through?
Yes, sir.
Having decided to quit smoking. So वो होता अगर थोड़ा सा और मजा, ये इंटरेस्टिंग है कि उसका ससुर भी बोलता है भाई चल आजा, कमाता है।
Yes, sir.
But why after that? Why does he feel? Uh, because Pragya's father says, "Come, let's have a cigarette break." Pragya's mother shouts at Pragya's father. Why is Kishore feeling more? Right?
सर मेरा जस्टिफिकेशन माइंड में ये था कि अभी कुछ मोमेंट्स पहले वो जिस स्मोक करके आया था और उसका पूरा वो जो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट हुआ उसके वाइफ के साथ, तो और हाँ मतलब हाँ वो एक्सप्लेन नहीं हुआ ठीक से, मतलब वो उसका गिल्ट और
हाँ,
गॉट इट सर।
क्योंकि ना वो एक एक भी ऐसा सेंटेंस जो मुझे कंफ्यूज कर दे and not fitting the flow, it makes the fluency a little disturbed. So that is not good for you.
गॉट इट सर।
Good thing is you're using very simple English to communicate this one. This is the
Thank
best
you,
part.
sir.
I don't have to press. एक अलग से दिमाग को engage नहीं करना पड़ रहा कि भाई अब वो इंग्लिश का मतलब है, वो नहीं करना पड़ रहा। मेरा पूरा दिमाग जो है सिर्फ स्टोरी पे ठीक है।
गॉट इट सर। सर मेरा एक क्वेश्चन था,
हाँ,
तो अगर हम ये फॉर्मूला रखें कि जो कैरेक्टर है अगर हम उसका स्ट्रगल चाहे जो भी सिचुएशन हमें दे क्वेश्चन के थ्रू, अगर जो कैरेक्टर है उसका अगर हम स्ट्रगल सक्सेसफुली दिखा पाए कि वो क्या स्ट्रगल से गुजर रहा है और वो उसे कैसे ओवरकम कर रहा है या नहीं ओवरकम कर पा रहा है, वॉटेवर जो भी पॉजिटिव या नेगेटिव एंडिंग दे, अगर हम उस पे फोकस करते हुए आंसर लिखे तो आवर जॉब इज डन, राइट?
the thing by what I meant was what is the question asking?
गॉट इट
What is the question demanding of me? What is the question about? What should be the answer is the question. You have to think.
सर।
So the answer to the question should be कि भाई he's trying to quit. But in trying to quit, he is most likely going to go through a lot of physical struggles. जो physical trauma होता है quitting का, या तुमको नहीं पता तो भी मत जज करना, तुम इमेजिन कर सकते हो। एंड हिज इंटरनल स्ट्रगल ये कि उससे जैसे एक ने पिछले वाले में जिसको मैंने बहुत डांटा, राइटिंग तुम्हें तुम्हें क्या नाम था उसका, सॉरी
ओडिन।
नहीं नहीं, ओडिन से पहले
अ,
सोनी जो था,
रुपेश।
रुपेश, हाँ, कि उसका क्या था कि फिटिंग अरे मैं कहाँ से था, उसको मैंने बहुत चिल्लाया था कि उसकी वाइफ ऐसे बिहेव करेगी क्या ये वो। बट उसके में एक अच्छी बात ये थी कि कहीं तो वो बंदा थोड़ा कंफ्यूज, थोड़ा सा, हाँ, वो सन डॉटर का कंफ्यूजन ये सब हो रहा था, क्योंकि
राइट।
हालांकि इट वाज मोर अबाउट कैंसर, बट व्हाट दैट कंफ्यूजन हेल्प्ड मी विजुअलाइज दैट कैरेक्टर, व्हाट इज गोइंग थ्रू।
गॉट इट सर।
So that should be the approach. Anything that your character does only
राइट।
helps me uh, visualize him better. Only
राइट।
helps me sketch him even finer in a more definite terms. See, so instead of presenting a little hazy sketch or character, you should try and uh, give me a very defined, well-defined character. And how does that happen? By adding those traits, by adding those external and internal emotions that he's going. Internal emotions taking finding it their ways through his external actions. So all that helps me visualizing. All that helps me makes me relate to that character. Things that I would do is what he is doing. So I get to understand him. He's
गॉट इट।
yeah.
थैंक यू सो मच
ठीक है.
सर।
Yeah. Let's move on to the next one. You have another question, Abhinav, by any chance?
नो सर, नो सर।
ठीक है, चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. हाँ
Hello,
भाई.
sir. Am I audible?
Yes, नकल. नहीं, sorry.
अरमान सर,
Arman,
नकल तो
I'm
नाम
so
है।
sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm extremely sorry.
अरे नहीं सर, नहीं सर, नहीं, कोई प्रॉब्लम
ठीक है,
नहीं।
चलो.
सर, डॉक्यूमेंट में एक छोटी सी मिस्टेक ये है कि मैं यहाँ पे मेंशन करना भूल गया, लाइक वो दिमाग से स्लिप ऑफ हो गया था, सो आई जस्ट
tell it off specifically.
नहीं नहीं पहले आप
Question
पढ़ो,
one.
पहले पढ़
Yes,
पहले पढ़ लो फिर इसके बाद
sir, the topics जो like 3 चीजें यूज की थी वो mention कर दूं एक बार.
हाँ वो करो, वो लिखा क्यों नहीं?
सर वो मिस आउट हो गया था.
ये वहां मत मिस आउट करना भाई साहब।
Yes, sir, I'll take care. So, arrested due to mistaken identity, an out of work artist, and causes a political uprising. That is the thing. Abir was not just Abir was not just any struggling artist. He had been out of work for almost 2 years, reduced to performing spoken words poetry in cafes and filling forms for auditions that never called back. So when he finally landed a role in a small but serious film, playing a homeless man who witnesses a crime, it felt like life was finally offering him a breath of air. On the day of his makeup test, he sat patiently under layers of prosthetics and dirt effects, lost in thought, quietly thankful. For the first time in months, someone had believed in him enough to cast him. But life had other plans. Stepping out of studio, still in costume, Abhi stopped at a roadside tea stall, smiling to himself. Minutes later, two police cars screeched to a halt, and officers swarmed around him. Without warning or explanation, he was thrown into a van. At first, he thought it was a prank or misunderstanding, but soon it became clear. He was being arrested for a murder that happened 12 years ago, and his made up face bore an eerie resemblance to the suspect caught on an old CCTV tape. That case had gone cold, but the media had begun buzzing lately with a fresh murder that mirrored the old one. Abir kept insisting it was for a film, but no one listened. What no one knew was that the real killer was alive, Raghuvansh Batra, a once famous businessman now dying of final stage pancreatic cancer. Years ago, he had killed his own brother-in-law in a fight over land deal, and his family helped him cover it up. It was a very famous case back then because of its mysterious closure. Now that a similar murder had taken place, Raghuvansh feared that the truth would come out and ruin everything. But when he saw Abir's arrest on TV, something clicked. He had found someone who looked exactly like his younger self who was in that getup. Raghuvansh pulled strings and got Abir released. He offered him a deal, pretend to be him, take his place and save what remained of him. Sorry, save what remained of his name and company. In return, Raghuvansh would transfer all his property and power to Abir. The reason Raghuvansh's own son were greedy, unskilled, and fighting over his wealth even before his funeral. Abhi was confused. He was not a criminal, not a businessman, but he was broke, tired, and curious. So he agreed. Over the next few weeks, Abir began learning to become Raghuvansh. He watched his old videos, studied his body language, and practiced singing like him. With the help of Raghuvansh's loyal lawyers and assistant, Abhi stepped into his mansion and started taking meetings. At first, people doubted him, but slowly Abhi started to speak with confidence, correct the correct his wrongs his sons had made, and win the trust of the workers in the company. People started talking about how Raghuvansh Patra has returned to fix everything. No one knew it was actually Abir behind the suit. But Abir didn't want public fame. He quietly cleaned up the business, removed the corrupt managers, and put new policies in places. Raghuvan's son tried to fight back legally, but the lawyers never disclosed who was actually in the will to the son. They lied that it's Raghuvan's will to donate everything in charity. In the end, Abir didn't become a leader in society. He didn't become a public hero, but he became something more powerful, a head of broken empire, rebuilt by a man who never asked for it. Raghuvansh died quietly in an old wing of the house. Only the lawyer and the nurse knew the full truth. Did Abir ever stop pretending? The truth is, he didn't. He just became so good at pretending that one day he simply became the man for real, and no one could tell the difference.
भाई मेरे, ये तुमने जो भी लिखा है ना,
Yes, sir.
तो ये बहुत डिफिकल्ट है इसको 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 एक्सेप्ट करना। बहुत
ओके सर।
बहुत फिल्मी वाला एक मामला है, बहुत ज्यादा ही
हम्म हम्म
advance के लिए। दूसरी बात है, इसमें फ्लॉज क्या क्या भाई, अबीर अभी अबीर को अंदर कर लिया, पकड़ लिया for murder that has happened well, right? That's what he
यस
said.
सर
And
यस सर
then the real guy रघुवंश बात्रा,
यस सर
he had to kill his own brother-in-law, but ठीक है, a civil murder, ये क्या है? Now that civil murder had taken place, ये क्या है? Now that a similar murder, तो वही मर्डर है ना जो रघुवंश ने मर्डर किया था, वही रघुवंश की जगह पे
सर एक्चुअली एक्चुअली मैंने यहाँ पे ये लिखने की कोशिश की थी कि जैसे 12 साल पहले मर्डर हुआ था, एग्जैक्टली उसी पैटर्न में अभी भी एक मर्डर की हुआ है, जिस वजह से वो पुरानी फाइल खुल गई है, एंड दैट्स व्हाई दे स्टार्टेड
अब हाँ
लाइक
ना,
फाइंड।
where is that, where is the mention of that over here? Where is the mention of that when you are, how do you expect me to be understanding that, that what is happening? What is
यस
right?
सर, वो मैंने 1 या 2 लाइन में ही एक्सप्लेन किया था, बट आई गेस फिगर आउट
हाँ
नहीं
यार,
हुआ।
तो वो कहाँ है?
यस यस, इट्स अ मिस्टेक फ्रॉम माय साइड।
That happened. So, they made a case for and the case is gone cold, but the media had been to the press murder. Okay, fine, ठीक है। अब उसके बाद रघुवंश, यहीं से तेरा प्रॉब्लम शुरू होता है। रघुवंश pulls strings and gets Abir released as a very so easy, पहला बात, मतलब थोड़ा अनएक्सेप्टेबल की तरफ बढ़ना शुरू होता है। And then उसके बाद
यस
he
सर
offers him a deal, pretend to heal. Now अभी रघुवंश इतना बड़ा आदमी है, मतलब इतना हार्ड हिट विल्ड इंसान है कि उसने मर्डर कर दिया, he could kill someone. And यहाँ पे he's finding it difficult to fight his own sons and fight his own employees. Pretty bad. रघुवंश का character थोड़ा अजीब से। फिर the fact कि रघुवंश asks him कि तू आ जा मेरे जगह पे और तू मेरा हमशक्ल बन जा, और ये ये ना यहीं पे टर्न ऑफ हो गया। क्या क्या देख क्या कर, मैं कैसे एक्सेप्ट करूँ? तो मैं हिंदी फिल्म में भी बहुत मुश्किल से एक्सेप्ट करूँ,
यस सर
मानते हुए कि वो तो चल रही, वो तो आप फिल्म नहीं पाए।
यस सर
ये मेरा, ये डोंट टेक माय द फैक्ट दैट सस्पेंशन ऑफ डिसबिलीफ को इतना मत आउट आउट
यस सर
आउट ऑफ एक्शन, आउट ऑफ कंट्रोल चले जाए।
यस
तो
सर
यही पे फिर मेरा टर्न ऑफ हो गया। मैं नॉट गिवन ये यार, ये कुछ भी होता है,
ठीक है सर।
वो फीलिंग नहीं आती। थोड़ा देखो,
यस सर
इंटेलिजेंट राइटिंग, इंटेलिजेंट इमेजिनेशन, इमेजिनेटिव होना, ये इमेजिनेटिव नहीं है। शॉर्टकट ले लिया इधर से उसमें कर दिया। अच्छा शुरू किया था, अच्छा इंटरेस्टिंग शुरुआत, बट सडनली प्लॉट में ऐसे बहुत ही बेसिक से प्लॉट स्ट्रक्चर पे आ गए।
यस सर
वो थोड़ा सा वो थोड़ा सा नहीं, बहुत ज्यादा था।
यस सर
और उसके बाद भी फिर जो भी होता है ना, फिर पॉइंटलेस है।
हाँ सर।
ठीक है, चलो आगे बढ़ो। हाँ, तू कुछ
अ,
पूछ रहा था इससे सब रिलेट, कुछ वो बोल रहा था पहले पढ़ते हैं क्या पूछ।
नहीं 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 सर, पॉइंटर्स मैंने भी जब लाइक लिख के एक बार सबमिट कर, लाइक लिखने के बाद मैंने एक बार पढ़ा था स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक्स वगैरह के लिए, बाद में मैंने जब दूसरी बार आफ्टर सबमिटिंग जब पढ़ा, लाइक शांति से बैठ के जब पढ़ा इसको, तब मुझे भी बड़ा अटपटा लगा था। तो इट्स लाइक इवन आई डेंट लाइक द स्टोरी एज मच। मैं खुद भी बीच में वो हो गया था कि कुछ भी लिख दिया एक टाइम के बाद मैंने।
हाँ, थोड़ा सा वो फील
यस यस, ये तो मैंने भी फील किया था कि मैं जेन्युइनली कुछ भी लिख दिया था। लाइक आई वांटेड टू ऐड अ ट्विस्ट, बट वो ट्विस्ट को और इंटरेस्टिंग बनाने के चक्कर में आई जस्ट मेड सम इडियोटिक थिंग एट द एंड, व्हिच वाज, जो मुझे भी नहीं पसंद आया।
ठीक है, ठीक है, आगे बढ़ते हैं।
यस। Okay. The second one's topic is social media influencer goes missing after their last post crosses 1 million views. Story's name is Fear Factory. Rivan was a 24-year-old boy who made scary videos on YouTube. He would visit haunted houses, old schools, or abandoned buildings. He would take his camera, talk to it like a friend, and explore. People loved him because he was calm and didn't fake things, like other horror vloggers. He had over 1.2 million followers. One day, he was live streaming on his channel, Haunted Factory. I shouldn't have come here. In the live stream, Rivan enters an old broken factory on the edge of the city. He says that many workers had died there during the fire 20 years ago. As he walks through dark rooms, the camera suddenly shakes. There is a loud sound. The live abruptly ends there. The next morning, people went crazy over the video. It crossed 1 million views in just 8 hours. But something was wrong. Rivan didn't post again. His phone was off. He didn't come home. His parents and friends got worried and filed a police complaint. The police searched the factory but found nothing. No bag, no phone, no camera. It was like he had disappeared. Many people said it was fake, maybe a trick to get more views. But days passed, no update. Fans started feeling scared. Rivan's younger brother Arav was not ready to give up. He borrowed a camera and went to the same factory. He followed the same path that Rivan had taken in the video. In one corner of the broken building, behind an old iron machine, he found something, a cloth bag. Inside was Rivan's camera, broken but still working. Arav took it home and gave it to a friend. Gave it to a friend to fix. When the last video was recovered, it had extra footages that were never posted. In it, Rivan walks towards the door and hears something whispering his name. He looks around and sees nothing. Then he looks at the camera and says softly, "If this is my last video, tell them I wasn't afraid." Then the video goes black. Arav didn't pull Arav didn't post the clip. He uploaded the final message from Rivan's account. It said he went looking for the ghost. Maybe they were real. Maybe became one of them.
Now just give me 1 minute. Yeah, you go the we're not ready on the camera. In one product. Yeah. Extra. In one box. ठीक है, ठीक है, ये सब तो ठीक है। मेरे को ये बता, ये जो पुलिस आई उसने इन्वेस्टिगेशन किया और कुछ मिला नहीं, और उसका भाई आराम गया और उसको मिल गया वो कैमरा, ये कैसे हुआ?
सर ये एक्चुअली आई मीन इफ आई टॉक फ्रॉम द पर्सपेक्टिव जब मैं लिख रहा था, मेरे दिमाग में यही था कि बिकॉज अगेन जस्ट टू मेक इट मिस्टीरियस, इफ पुलिस वगैरह को ये सारी चीजें मिल जाती या फिर ऐसा कुछ होता तो it wouldn't have caused anything more of an like वो mystery factor. So I wanted to add basically मेरे को कुछ और
तो
वो ऐड करना था.
इसको थोड़ा कन्विंसिंग कर सकते थे ना कि पुलिस
Yes sir.
कि पुलिस का
Yes sir.
पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू देते कि भैया पुलिस भी एक्चुअली बोलने के लिए इन्वेस्टिगेशन करी, लेकिन उनकी भी फट गई थी उस जगह पे, लोकेशन पे, तो उन्होंने डायरेक्ट सीख इतना ही वो कन्विंसिंग कि भाई चलो पुलिस का भी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू ले दिया, तो गई थी, लेकिन उन्हें को लगा कि पूरा इन्वेस्टिगेशन क्या था, बट
हाँ
में
yes
गेट के
yes
अंदर भी
yes
नहीं घुसे थे डर के, क्योंकि वो भी तो इंसान
yes sir
इतना बोल देता तो तेरा प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व।
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
और एक बार मेरे को वापस रिमाइंड कर वो क्वेश्चन क्या एग्जैक्टली।
It's just a second, sir. मेरा document कहाँ है? हाँ. Sir, it's a social media influencer goes missing after their last post crosses 1 million views.
ठीक है, सही है, अच्छा है।
Yes.
बट ये कुछ लंबा नहीं है, कितना वर्ड है ये?
सर
Roughly?
ये वाला 520 के आसपास है। पुराना वाला थोड़ा लंबा था, ये वाला 520 के आसपास है।
ठीक है, तो फिर आगे बढ़ते हैं।
Yes.
मतलब ठीक है, मतलब ऐसा
ठीक है सर।
एक्सट्रीमली वंडरफुल वैसा भी नहीं है और बहुत बुरा भी नहीं है, अच्छा।
यस सर।
बढ़े आगे नेक्स्ट वन पे।
यस सर।
कोई सवाल है अरमान?
नहीं 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 सर, नहीं सर।
ठीक है, अंशुल।
Hi, sir.
अंशुल।
Okay, I'll start. So the first sentence I chose was while searching for a lost umbrella, an out-of-work artist causes a political uprising. The lost umbrella. The rain is pouring heavily. It stings as it hits his skin. Lightning flashes. We see Ajay, his 20s, running across the terrain of a hill. He's searching for his lost umbrella, running around with his phone torch on. He reaches a location in the densely forested part of the hill where he spots his umbrella under a tree. But he also sees two men in raincoats standing there having some sort of discussion. He turns his phone light off to stay better hidden as he waits for them to leave so he can recover his umbrella. But when the lightning flashes, he is able to see the face of the man facing him. A look of terror overcomes the man's face as he also sees Ajay. He runs after Ajay, and Ajay runs for his life. Ajay runs through some of the dense forest until he reaches a cliff. Scared of this dead end, he looks around and sees a rock behind which he takes cover. He hears the man arriving, heading at full speed in Ajay's direction. He keeps running and, without realizing, runs off the cliff. Ajay stands up in shock. The scream of the man slowly fades into the distance but still echoes in the silence. A loud thud confirms his death. Ajay gulps. The other man who was dealing with the one who just died is standing next to Ajay. You have to come with me, he says. The man runs and Ajay follows as they make it to his car parked on the edge of the hill. Ajay asks where they are going. Somewhere safe, he replies. All night they drive until at the crack of dawn they are far away from the city in a coastal village. Ajay gets out of the car and takes a walk around the place. At a tea stall, he sees news on the TV about a dead MLA and the ensuing political uprisings that are taking place. The only clue the police have regarding the incident is Ajay's missing umbrella. They will find you, the other man says. But I didn't do anything, Ajay replies, scared. Don't you draw comics? The man asks. Yes, Ajay stammers. The man looks at the TV. Did any of them feature him? Afraid, Ajay starts sweating profusely.
I'll give you that. The rain. He reaches a location mostly quite far out. So he spots his umbrella under. This line suggests that it's still a little distant. The umbrella is still a little far.
Hmm.
Now, the problem is his phone light off. And his phone light has been on all this while. And इसके तो ये बंद करता है. And decides to hide himself as he waits for him so he can provide him. When the light is needed to see the man, or see the face of the man facing the face. Now, this suggests me that they're actually very good. Give it, without creating a यहाँ पे कहीं सजेस्ट किया कि थोड़ा दूर से देख लिया उसने 2 लोगों को, तो यहाँ पे सजेस्ट किया कि वो तो एकदम सामने कर दो जब, और फिर वो भागना शुरू गिर जाता है, मर जाता है, दूसरा बंदा था उसको वो उठा के ले आता है, और ले आता है, फिर उसमें वो जहाँ भी लेके जाता है वो उतना उतना भी, एक तो लेके जाता है वो चला भी जाता है उसके साथ, थोड़ा
हाँ।
सा अजीब सही है, जमीन से
हम्म।
ऐसे कैसे चला जाएगा, अम्ब्रेला ही तो लेने आया था।
हम्म।
फिर उसके बाद क्या होता है कि वो उसको टीवी भी मिला होता है, और उसमें देखते हैं कि कोई टेढ़े मेढ़े मर गया, ठीक है, और शायद विजुअली कनेक्ट करता है, देन थिंकिंग द ओनली पीपल द पुलिस हैव रिगार्डिंग द इंसिडेंट इज अजय मिसिंग नंबर, जो टेढ़े मेढ़े से वो बोल रहे हैं, ठीक है, ये भी ठीक है, अच्छा है, they will find you, they will match it, but I didn't know anything. Don't you draw comics, the man? Yes, stuff. Do any of them feature him? Afraid that starts with. ये नहीं समझता है वो, ये तो एक वो तो अदर मैन वो उसको पूछ रहा है did any of them feature him, या वो किसी तीसरे को पूछ रहा है did any of them feature him, या वो क्या कहना क्या चाह रहा है did they feature him से?
ओके, ही इज ट्राइंग टू से कि वो एमएलए था क्या वो कॉमिक्स में फीचर्ड, which is why he looks at the TV. But yeah, I get it's vague.
Okay, I'm still not too sure
Hmm.
about that. And Ajay starts getting probably he's suggesting oh, there is a problem. I am in problem. That it's a very strange story. I can't no, I would connecting dots वाले भी नहीं possible. मैंने मेरे लिए वो भी हो रही है dots को भी connect कर पा क्या हुआ भाई क्या हुआ वो फीलिंग
Hmm. Yeah.
सो हाँ मतलब वो अ, जो फ्लुएंसी चाहिए होता है सारे उस सेंटेंस में, और थोड़े इम्प्रैक्टिकल डिसीजंस हैं एज अ राइटर, तो क्योंकि ना वो बिलीवेबल नहीं था.
Hmm. Yeah.
So if you leave me in a state of confusion, you'll have to as
Yeah. I realized by the end that this is like the start to the story. I don't think it's like
right. Yes, you're right. It's
it's
almost like okay, now something will happen, and then
yeah.
the
Yeah.
jigsaw will be solved.
Yeah.
Which
By
is
the
actually okay. मतलब वो हो सकता है. You can create a scene which ends with a point, almost like a cliffhanger. You now wait for the next one, which is
hmm.
fine. वो तो problem. लेकिन प्रॉब्लम है कि जो हुआ है जो भी तुमने डिस्क्राइब किया है वो उसमें क्लैरिटी होना चाहिए.
Yeah.
तो क्लैरिटी तो बहुत जरूरी है. तो वो जो भी हो रहा है एक्शंस में जो भी है, जितना तेरा पार्ट वो डिस्क्रिप्शन ये वाला है ना, ही इज रनिंग, ही इज बीइंग चेस्ड, वो बंदा आ रहा है, ये चुप रहा है, क्लिफ आ गया, फिर ये हो रहा है, वो हो रहा है, एंड देन
Hmm.
वो आया और वो गिर गया और थट से आवाज आई. ये सब तो बहुत मजेदार है. क्यों मजेदार है? बहुत इजी रीड है, बहुत विजुअल है. आई कैन इमेजिन दैट सीन, दैट चेस सीन वाज वेरी इमेजिनेबल. I could see them running. I could see these guys uh, standing their raincoats in dark jungle. But I also I saw them a little, like it was more like a topish POV of Ajay
Hmm.
when he sees them. क्योंकि तुमने वहां mention किया था कि the umbrella, which is he sees the umbrella, he switches off light, and it is still as if it is still a little distant from. तो वो इमेजिनेशन करता कि वो दोनों नहीं देख पा रहे इसको, इसने उन दोनों को देख लिया और वो umbrella भी दिख गया उसको. ये सब चीजें होगी तो थोड़ा दूर से हुआ. ये सब चीज फिर भी मतलब वो कब था, लेकिन फिर भी ये सब चीजें बहुत क्लियर था. ये जहाँ रिलेशनशिप पे है ना कि ये अजय और उन दोनों बंदे के साथ क्या हो रहा है, वो कौन है, वो कह रहा है, वो स्पेस के साथ क्या कर रहे हैं, वो स्पेस कहाँ है, कोस्टल विलेज है, वो ठीक है, तो वहाँ एक टीवी भी है, टी स्टॉल में रुके हैं, तो अजय क्या, और ओवरनाइट जर्नी है, कहीं तो
हम्म
रुकने चले,
हम्म,
ये सब थोड़ा अनबिलीवेबल यही से
हाँ, इधर
एक
थोड़ा ज्यादा चीजें हो गया और कुछ।
ज्यादा ही फैल गया, मतलब ये क्या क्या कुछ भी हो रहा है, तो
हाँ,
वो तो
राइट, या
ठीक है। कोई क्वेश्चन है?
नहीं नहीं, आई थिंक आई अंडरस्टैंड द प्रॉब्लम.
ठीक, सेकंड क्वेश्चन।
Okay, so in this, the one I chose was chain smoker trying to quit before the birth of his first child. A smoker's dream. Jack steps out of the hotel and walks outside its gate. He brings out a box of cigarettes and opens it. There's only one left. He removes it and rests it between his lips. He lights the cigarette and exhales a long, satisfying sigh, as if a burden is coming off his shoulders. He looks up at his room, the only light that's still on in the building. You're doing the right thing, a voice speaks. सॉरी, ये जैक होना चाहिए, ये बदला क्यों नहीं यहाँ पे. बट जैक लुक्स डाउन एट हिज सिगरेट. आई एम रियली प्राउड ऑफ यू. डोंट से दैट, सेज जैक. यू आर मेकिंग दिस इवन हार्डर. um so this is cigarette talking. Jack and his cigarette talk for a long time about their relationship, all the years they have spent together, how sweet it was during the beginning, but how sour it's gotten lately. Their time together is always spent in guilt, never truly able to enjoy the other. The cigarette says that it's for the best that he is finally leaving her. It's too hard. I must come back to you eventually. Every time. Jack says, I know, Jack, but our love has run its course. You must. And the cigarette dies. Jack's hands are left shaking. He's itching in pain. How could she die mid sentence? Jack just wants to buy another cigarette and hear what she had to say. He looks around for cigarette shops, but it's late. Everything's closed. He sees a cigarette lying in the grass nearby. He goes and picks it up and smokes it. He sees another cigarette, even bigger, lying even closer by. So he goes that and picks it and smokes it. And he keeps doing this until he reaches the final boss cigarette, which is 7 feet in size, after smoking which he will definitely die. But the cigarette only tries to convince him, saying that this is their last night together, so they should not hold back their love, convincing him to smoke the final big boss cigarette. And after Jack finishes the big cigarette, he passes out and has a vision of his baby sitting in the chair of their balcony with a cigarette in its mouth, asking Jack for a light. Jack lights his baby's cigarette and smokes one with it. As the baby finishes its cigarette, it has a heart attack and dies. Jack wakes up, completely changed by this nightmare. He never smokes a cigarette again.
Very nice. It's very nice. I am glad you ended up with a nightmare, because then I was wondering कि यहाँ तक तो ठीक था कि comes to 7 packet वाला packet response है. I got confused somewhere here when it says कि this is the last cigarette after which he is going to die. This is something keeps going to final boss. And for these guys, after smoking which he will definitely die. Who will die? The cigarette, like,
No, Jack, the guy.
so why will Jack die? How suddenly Jack is dying? It's nowhere up till there Jack is dying.
Oh, Oh, because I think it was just like a 7 foot big cigarette. So if he smokes, like it is just knowledge that he won't be able to survive smoking such a cigarette, and yet he has to. I don't know. It's kind of like in because it's a dream. So in a dream, there is like a logic that it's
It's
there.
fine, but the problem is he up till somewhere here, he keeps doing until he reaches the, let's say, the final boss thing. Up till here, it's very smooth, very wonderful. It's what happens when you start talking to cat talk to the thing. We all do that. We do.
Mhm.
So all that is wonderful. ये 7 feet के पास थोड़ा कन्फ्यूज 7 feet यहाँ तक लग नहीं रहा है कि वो ड्रीम देख रहा है यार, ऐसा कुछ नहीं. भी 7 feet भी मुझे लगा चलो ठीक है स्ट्रेस इमेजिनेशन और चलो ठीक है बट उसके बाद आफ्टर स्मोक विच ही विल डाई तो ये सडनली ना कंफ्यूजन हो गई कि अभी तक सिगरेट्स मार रहा था सिगरेट डाई सिगरेट डाई सिगरेट डाई
Hmm.
और ये अब अचानक से ये
Ah,
किस कौन मर गया ये क्या हो
yeah, the sentence is.
ये थोड़ा सा उसमें वो उसमें दिमाग को तो यहाँ के बाद फिर मैं एक्चुअली थोड़ा सा
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I should have just ended the sentence there and started a new sentence. Here it becomes very confusing. That's true.
I'm getting it. And again, this baby thing is so wonderful. But even if he's not, even if it is not a dream, I can fairly well imagine a man who's under stress of quitting cigarettes because he's about to have a baby can start hallucinating and can start actually, it's extreme stress. It's a
Mm,
strange kind of a guilt because
yeah.
it's a powerful thing to have a baby, and it's equally powerful to having not to quit cigarettes or finding it difficult to quit cigarettes.
Yeah.
So that person is extreme, extreme,
Hmm.
and that can actually make see all kinds of things. So this was so good. But इसके फिर again it has a heart attack and dies. भाई ये भी मर गया मतलब ये क्यों मार रहा है इतना मारा नहीं चाहिए हाँ,
Hmm.
so as the baby finishes ये fine ये हो सकता है Jack lights his baby cigarette and smokes one day and the baby soon finishes the cigarette और यहाँ पे he wakes up or
Okay.
when he's about to finish it don't
Yeah.
kill people because these are unnecessary shocks that would
Hmm. Yeah.
which
Yeah.
you can do away with.
Yeah.
So this doesn't really add to the story. It only maybe takes away. Also.
Hmm.
The baby factor is itself very, very
Hmm.
hard hitting. So
Yeah.
avoid extreme, unless it is really needed.
Hmm. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
And then उसके complete change by the night में he never से ठीक है ये थोड़ा सा he will eventually quit smoking if he's going through all this shit. He will
Hmm.
definitely quit smoking for sure, but not maybe right away. Or
Okay.
maybe right away, I don't know. I'm a smoker, I know it's waiting.
Hmm.
So maybe
Okay.
तो ठीक है अच्छा है मतलब वही बट ये सब तो बहुत रिफ्रेशिंग था कि स्पीक्स विद सिगरेट्स एंड
Yeah.
cigarette before even completing his sentence dies. That's a very interesting
Yeah.
visualization. And then he picks up cigarettes from ground. We have all done that actually.
Yeah, it
And
feels like that, no? Like when a cigarette gets over, it feels like it just got over
yeah.
mid something.
तो वो बहुत कमाल का रिफ्रेशिंग था क्योंकि ये किसी ने किया नहीं है ये पहली बार मैंने आई हैव डन दिस इन द पास्ट आई नो
Hmm.
पीपल डू इट बट ये फिल्मों में या स्टोरीज में कभी नहीं ये भाई बहुत मजेदार रिफ्रेशिंग पॉइंट
Hmm. Thank you,
ये
sir.
ठीक है अच्छा है पर यही दो तीन चीजें जो
Huh. Yeah, I've made note of that.
ठीक है कोई सवाल है
No, no, I think everything's clear.
ठीक है तो should we move on to the next one Shruti are you there
Yes, sir.
yes
Okay. Shreya's suitcase. Plot. Trapped in an abusive relationship, an out of work artist plans the perfect murder. On 20th February 2024, at 6:02 a.m., Shreya, 46, is running around in her small one-bedroom apartment, anxiously searching for her phone. She is screaming ferociously. Manish. She finally found it at the corner of her bedside table. Immediately, she dialed 911. The police attendant answered the phone. Hello, this is 911. What is your emergency? She answered, we were playing hide and seek, and my boyfriend is not moving anymore. The officer asked to asked to calm Shreya down and asked her to tell in clear details what happened. My boyfriend is not moving. He has turned blue. He is not breathing. Okay, ma'am. We are sending the team right away. What is your location? 56th Street, 103 apartment building. The officer connected the call with the medical to teach Shreya to give his boyfriend chest compressions. The officer assured her that the emergency team is on the way and will arrive any minute now, so to not stop giving the compressions. She said we were just playing hide and seek, and he hid inside the suitcase and is not moving now. The emergency team reached and checked the body, which is lying on the floor beside a big empty suitcase. They called the ambulance and escorted Shreya out to the police station. Shreya is in the police interrogation room with two other officers sitting in front of her. They asked her to describe in its entirety what actually happened. She started. We were very happy last night. We were not fighting at all. Manish looked very calm. He was feeling good that day. We had a good dinner and started drinking. We painted together. We both were so happy, dancing, painting, and drinking together. It really was the best night after a long time. Then we thought to play hide and seek. He went upstairs to hide, and I was down. And I don't remember after that. I had too much to drink till then. I passed out and woke up in the morning and I looked for him. He was inside the suitcase. And when I opened the bag, he was all blue and cold, and I immediately called 911. The officer asked if you don't remember going upstairs and zipping the suitcase up. She got triggered by her allegation and replied, why would I zip him and leave him inside the suitcase? The officer replied, he can't zip himself up like that from inside. She became more agitated and reacted, that officer, I accepted Manish in all his flaws, even if he had abusive tendencies. I loved him. He supported me when I was out of work as a struggling artist. She showed them the marks on her neck and hand from abuse. The officer asked in a calm tone, is it possible, ma'am, as you said, you both had a lot to drink? And she interjected and said, when I think about it now, it is a possibility that I zipped him as we were playing hide and seek. We were goofing around and I fell asleep. Oh my God, what have I done? They sent her home for the day. Shreya went and sat on her sofa, opened her phone, and started this video in which she recorded Manish crying for help to get out of the suitcase and Shreya yelling, that's how I feel when you choke me. Black screen.
एक मिनट यार शो तुम बात So she accepts somewhere. Is it what? Am I reading it correct?
She accepts like they were just playing and she had a lot to drink. She didn't know what she
No,
was doing.
no.
She was out.
She kind of accepts that she may have zipped it, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Let's give it another minute. Running around the small one bedroom apartment, she's searching for her. She's screaming. ये गायब होता है यहाँ पे एक प्रश्न क्या करता है ऊपर में कौन है नीचे पर वन बेडरूम अपार्टमेंट मुझको थोड़ा सा यहाँ ज्योग्राफी में कुछ कंफ्यूजन हुआ है कुछ तो अटपटा सा लगा था वो बताओ मैं हाँ मतलब एक तो ये वन बेडरूम अपार्टमेंट है ना
Hmm.
मतलब ऊपर नीचे कुछ नहीं है वो एक कमरे का ही घर है ना correct?
Did I mention कि ऊपर नीचे है?
Somewhere I figured कि uh, the we were happy last night. We were not fighting at all.
Yeah,
He
yes.
was
He
very-
went
he was
upstairs
very-
to hide.
He had a good dinner. He went together. We not done. He went upstairs to hide, and I was down. ये क्या है? क्या है?
Yeah, so like a bedroom and also bedroom is upstairs and downstairs is like a
तो
kitchen and
भाई
living.
तो भाई ये थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूजन है ना फिर इन अ स्मॉल वन बेडरूम
Hmm.
अपार्टमेंट तो मतलब ये यहाँ पे थोड़ा डिस्क्राइब करो ना भाई वो ज्योग्राफी स्पेस क्या है हम देखो
Like
ये
she
कितना
was
छोटा सा
searching
बात
for the
no,
she
I
was
get your point.
searching for the phone and yeah.
Fair enough. Get your point. And maybe you're correct, maybe it's okay. But I'm just pointing out a real fact that happened, right? It just totally, shook me because suddenly I realized, oh, it's just there's some problem with the geography. That's right. Because when you say is running around in a small one bedroom apartment, all I understand, it's a small one room bedroom or one bedroom apartment on the same floor. Yeah, I can't imagine there could be a room upstairs. समझ गए? And it's a subconscious thing that is happening. It's not that I'm consciously understanding these things. My mind is mapping out that space. You are mentioning these things. Okay. My mind is
Yeah.
imagining, visualizing, creating that space for me to to imagine that story in that space. Now suddenly ये जर्क जब आया तो मेरा माइंड बोला भाई ये कुछ लग रहा है और कंफ्यूज किया एक बार तो मैं थोड़ा सा हिल गया फिर आई लॉस्ट द स्टोरी बट देन थैंक गॉड कि ज्यादा तो स्टोरी में हुआ नहीं यही स्टोरी सो एंड में समझ में गया बट ये वाला कंफ्यूजन इज नॉट
Yeah, it's a stupid mistake. Oh, yeah.
yeah and the other thing about so your characters are Manish and Shreya. Yeah. Again, you are absolutely perfect. No, there's no issue. But I'll tell you my experience. The Shreya for running on the top, and she's screaming ferociously, money, money. And then immediately she dials 911. और जैसी 911 डायल की तो अगेन झटका है कि अच्छा दिस इज नॉट इंडिया दिस इज नॉट मे बी मुंबई स्मॉल वन रूम अपार्टमेंट इज अ वेरी कॉमन थिंग दिस इज हैपनिंग इन अमेरिका 911 समझ रही है तो अगेन एक सेकंड के लिए मेरा दिमाग हिल गया एंड देन आई सेड ओके ओके एंड आई लॉस्ट दैट फ्लुएंसी दैट fluidity that the way it was flowing it got a little jot and then I was like it took me another couple of seconds to get back to the story so
Got it.
मेरा
Yeah.
कहने का मतलब है कि you can easily avoid these hiccups for the reader and you must okay your intention is for the reader to start from the first word and end with the last word and then realize oh it was the story he was creating. He should see the visuals so vividly so clearly that he should forget he is reading a story he should forget it should be almost like I which I often do it when the description is very good. I forget who I am, what am I doing, that I'm taking a session here, that I have a partner who's in Mumbai, I'm here in Gujarat. ये सब भूल रियलिटी से मैं गायब हो जाता हूँ जब तक वो स्टोरी चल रही है समझ गए So
Yeah.
that is what expected that is what is intended for a writer तो तुमने जैसे ही ये झटके दिए मुझे तो मैं एक सेकंड के लिए वो थ्रेड्स ब्रेक हुए मतलब मुझे रियलाइज हुआ अच्छा ये स्टोरी मतलब मैंने थोड़ा सा छोड़ दिया थे वो नहीं होना चाहिए और जो ये बहुत स्टूपिड वाले सिंपल वाले व्हाई एट ऑल ये वेयर डू यू स्टे बाय द वे ज्योति
I in Rajasthan, Ajmer.
तो तू अजमेर का डिटेल्स देना यहाँ पे क्या प्रॉब्लम है 911 को 100 कर देना क्या प्रॉब्लम है दिक्कत क्या है देख
Is it? Yeah, this is a story. This is like a real life story I watched on YouTube long back. and like this particular dialogue stayed with me. Like she called 911, what is your emergency? So that's why it reflected here.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. Yeah, but try to avoid this. Try to make it, closer to where. So, or you could have chosen English name. Then
Yeah.
this wouldn't have been a problem. थोड़ा झटका था.
Hmm.
कि not that a Shreya and a Manish can't stay in a marriage. Can't have.
Hmm.
Of course, it's correct.
But yeah,
But-
but why do you want to like
Why do you at
do
all
it?
want to give me that unnecessary twist? It's a very subconscious,
Yeah.
unnecessary twist. You not even intended that. So keep a track of. ठीक है,
Anything
और
else, sir, in the question, in the answer?
नहीं, हाँ, the other thing is कि I think the other problem here is possibly, you know what? That this entire thing happens thrice somewhere. You know?
Yeah, we
They
were playing hide and seek.
that they were playing hide and seek. They were singing and dancing, and they were drinking and heavily drunk. And then this guy is found in the suitcase, and the woman upstairs or somewhere else. So this happens. This event is expressed thrice in this story. In some form or the other. पहली बार तो एक्शन में
Yeah.
कि वो सही में खोजती है तो दिखती है शायद, हाँ. सेकंड टाइम व्हेन जो नरेट करती है 911, ठीक है. थर्ड टाइम जब शायद 9 पुलिस आ जाता है और फिर उससे पूछता है भाई बताओ क्या हुआ, तो एग्जैक्टली वही कहती है और फिर वो रियलाइज करती है वो मे बी आई हैव डन. तो ये जो
So
रिपीटेशन,
the repetition's purpose was that like to communicate the reader what a dangerously absurd thing they did. Like, so that didn't communicate it through repetition.
no, it sounds very repetitive. It's not about the it sounded very repetitive. Because there's nothing new in this this narration that she this in the narration of this theme. There's nothing new that is coming across to me as a reader, which is making me feel fresh or feel better about the or
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
want me to glued on to or stick to the story. Even it's like okay, the same thing is coming, same thing repeat telecast.
Got it.
एंड ठीक है. एंड मेरे को एक और चीज पूछना था कि मनीष को जब जिप कर रही थी तो मनीष क्या बहुत ही कमजोर सा बंदा था, वो फाइट बैक नहीं करता या क्या हो रहा था?
No, yeah, they were like drunk, really drunk, and Manish was also very drunk.
It's very scary.
Yeah, it's like a real life thing. There is a like YouTube video, something suitcase, her suitcase, और उसका पूरा police interrogation video है. And she's like repeating all this again and again that we were just playing hide and seek and yeah. So I thought like that absurd. I found it very absurd how she was repeating the same thing again and again, and that's
But
why it
one
reflected.
one good thing that I must point it out here is that you are bringing your personal experiences to your story, which is very healthy because 15-20 minutes में it's very difficult to create something very new, something very fresh. It's impossible, and you end up possibly in उस चक्कर में you might end up wasting a lot of time. So try and draw your stories from your experiences. Like you saw this something similar or maybe the exact thing from YouTube, and you thought it's just perfectly fitting. Why not just go ahead and write? Or you may
Yeah.
have seen something similar, not exactly, and you could have twisted and you could have done something in the tail and then fit it. That is a very healthy thing because and very smart. That is the correct way. You're not supposed to be making this film. कि बाद में कोई claim कर देगा भाई ये तो चुराया है. ये तो आंसर है, तो इसलिए सही. ठीक है, आगे बढ़े.
Yeah. So for the second question, I forgot to mention there that I chose
Don't do the
the
mistake, and this is again to all of you. Do not forget this. This is a part of your answer. Because
Yeah,
otherwise I'm very confused.
yeah.
What?
So I chose a housemaid working in an apartment full of struggling actors.
Hmm.
Madhu Dai. Madhu, 53, small and thin, wears a sari in a Maharashtrian style and works as a househelp in 305 of Jeevan Sathi apartment. In 305, a 3 BHK fully furnished apartment, live 6 boys, all struggling to be actors. And also from among them, Sid's girlfriend, Anya, who is also an actor and a filmmaker, sometimes stays in the same flat with Sid. On 2nd July 2024, it was one of those days when she was staying over in an apartment whose landlord had strictly prohibited the entry of any girl, gave a surprising visit and found Anya. Mr. Rajbir is a man of rules and regulations. He became furious and almost asked the boys to empty the place. And suddenly Madhu entered from behind when all the drama was unfolding in the main hall. All 6 boys were standing in the group with their heads down, and Anya was uncomfortably standing in the corner. Madhu approached Anya and asked, scolding her, मैं बोली थी तुझे मैं पहले 304 में जाऊंगी फिर 305. Anya understood what she was doing and played along. हाँ ताई मैं वही सोचूं कहाँ गई तू मैं बस आई यहाँ और ये सब तो चिल्लाने लगे कुछ बोलने ही नहीं दे रहे थे मुझे. Madhu asked the landlord what happened, and he is about to say something. Sid shouts from behind. That's what I was trying to explain, sir. We don't know who she is, and you were just so furious. Rajbir asked for their apology and left the flat. Everybody ran and hugged Madhu. Anya asked Madhu to give her number. I will call you first next time anything like this happens. Madhu, from her blouse pocket, picked out a diary instead and asked Anya to give her number instead and write it in her diary. She doesn't have a phone, but she has a phone book where she meticulously keeps numbers of everyone from vegetable vendors to landlords to her sariwala, in the hope that when she buys her phone, she will have people to call immediately. Anya got so inspired by Madhu's small gesture, and her eyes glittered with the new story and idea she had been searching for so long to make her short film on. She immediately inside, opened Sid's computer, and wrote for a straight hour. She pitched her idea to Madhu and asked her to act in a film. They filmed. Uh, Madhu always wanted to act in front of a camera, didn't bother to think, and said yes. They filmed the short film, and Madhu had the time of her life, acting and playing herself on the camera. Anya didn't expect the film to come out so brilliantly thanks to Madhu's authentic character. She sent the film to all major festivals, and the rest is history. The film won multiple awards. Madhu is now known as Tai of Bai, admired by everyone. Everybody knows her and runs after to hire her for their house help as their house help. She bought her first phone and called Anya to say, कॉल करना मुझे वो मकान मालिक वापस टपका तो अब तो कुछ बोलने का भी जरूरत नहीं बस ऑटोग्राफ से ही काम हो जाएगा. They both laughed and cut the call. Anya saved Madhu's number as Tai with a heart emoji.
Okay, nice, very nice, very nice. Very nice. अच्छा है क्यों अच्छा है पहली बात तो सिंपल था एक फ्लो में हाँ,
और आपकी आवाज थोड़ा
ठीक है बेटर है
हाँ
तो अच्छा ये यूं है कि वो सिंपल रीड था वो अच्छा इजी रीड था स्ट्रेस नहीं लगा समझ में आया। एक जगह प्रॉब्लम प्रॉब्लम क्या है वो प्रॉब्लम नहीं द मोमेंट ये हुआ कि ऑल 6 बॉयज वर स्टैंडिंग मधु अप्रोच आनिया एंड स्टार्ट ये आया इससे आने से पहले ही मधु अप्रोच के सेट के आसपास में ही मुझे समझ में आ गया मधु क्या करने वाला है। थोड़ा मतलब वो हो गया था इट वाज मतलब मुझे समझ में आ गया था क्या होने वाला है दैट दैट किल्ड माय एक्साइटमेंट गेटिंग पॉइंट सो
या
बट ठीक है बिकॉज इट्स नॉट बैड सो मुझे समझ में आ गया शायद किसी और को खराब किया है बट जिस तरह से तुमने यहाँ मधु को एक्सप्लेन किया ये वो किया है जो भी डिस्क्रिप्शंस है, somehow I knew what is she going to do. तो प्रेडिक्टेबल बन गया था यहाँ पे, बट ठीक है। उसके बाद फिर जो होता है, और उसके बाद दूसरी दिक्कत क्या थी होता ये सब डिस्क्रिप्शन जो है ना फिर ये बहुत अननेसेसरी डिस्क्रिप्शन था। ये कौन पिक करती है, कौन नहीं है, फिर उसके पास नंबर होते, वेजिटेबल वेंडर्स के भी नंबर है, लैंडलॉर्ड्स के भी, साड़ी वाले का भी, ये सब अननेसेसरी डिस्क्रिप्शन जो कि मुझे डिस्ट्रैक्ट कर रही है, मुझे तेरे मेन स्टोरी से बहुत अलग इधर उधर छितरा दे रही है, दिखने दे रही है। And then again, I have to come back to the main story, realizing that all this information was pointless. It gave some idea of the character Madhu is, but I don't need all these descriptions to get to that character, that particular side of Madhu's aspect of Madhu's character.
So how
And-
much would have been
I mean,
enough
I don't know.
to
It could have been maybe I would call it for Madhu from Blouse pocket picked out that and stuff. Instead, and I was fine. यहाँ तक तो ठीक, ये तो अच्छा है. Doesn't carry a phone, and it's a very Christian guy. Yeah, and she doesn't have a phone. This description, but has a phone book, but she meticulously keeps numbers of everyone from Vijay and his member. Sai wala info when she buys a phone. Then she will have people call me. ये पूरा लाइन हटा भी देगी तो it doesn't affect my understanding. How does it? How does this information give and adds anything to what the character is or what the plot is? It just does nothing because उसने जो यहाँ हरकत की है उससे समझ में आ गया मुझे कि वो क्या कैरेक्टर है। उसने जो ये किया है यहाँ पे अन्याय हुआ है उससे मुझे समझ गया कि क्या है ये बहुत मजेदार कैरेक्टर ये है और
अच्छा
so I don't need this information. It's only taking it something away from.
okay. Actually, my tendency, sir, is to explain why someone is doing something. That's why, like, why.
I get it. It's not a very healthy thing. Also, in cinema, we say, show, don't tell.
Hmm.
So we have to show and not to tell. When this is telling, you've already shown.
Got it.
You've done that part. You've shown me what she is. Now, why are you telling me? Don't tell me. Don't tell and kill my imagination. You're killing my imagination also somewhere. Because I may have actually understood Madhu a little differently and let it be with that. Let that Madhu be with. And also that this information suddenly makes you feel subconsciously. Maybe this is important for the story. Maybe the phone आएगा और वो phone करेगी वाला part वो interesting. And my mind is preoccupied after this. Preoccupied कुछ होने वाला है ऐसा कुछ. कुछ होने वाला है,
Yeah.
वेजिटेबल वेंडर आएगा या लैंडलॉर्ड आएगा, पता नहीं कौन आएगा. कुछ तो सबकॉन्शियसली हो रहा है, कॉन्शियसली नहीं हो रहा, जो कि जरूरत ही नहीं क्योंकि वो तो डिस्ट्रैक्शन है. तो मेरा माइंड फोकस पूरा 100% पे कर ही नहीं रहा है तुम्हारे स्टोरी.
Yeah, that would be more impactful if I didn't mention that. And in the end, like she had a phone. That would be like more emotionally powerful.
क्या सेकंड पार्ट क्या बोला तुमने?
I said if I didn't mention that why she kept a diary and to call people immediately. If I didn't would have not mentioned that. And in the end, like she calls Anya, that would be more emotionally
Yeah,
impactful.
exactly. Correct.
Got it.
ठीक है, आगे बढ़े या कुछ सवाल है?
Yeah, सर मेरा वही सवाल था कि like I was over extending the word limit. So how, and I was finding it very difficult. Where do I cut? Because I thought कि if I cut anything, that would destroy the taste of the story. So now I understood like that problem is also solved, and I understood how I am over explaining here in both the stories.
ठीक है, तो हम आगे बढ़े फिर।
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Cool. Thanks. Rishabh, are you there? ऋषभ मेरे भाई, आप हैं?
Hello. Yeah, hi,
Hi,
sir.
ऋषभ. Hi, hi.
Sorry, sir. I could just attempt today one question. I had a photo shoot for the entire day.
Fair enough, fair enough. आ जाओ, कोई बात
Yes. Partying aboard a cruise, an out-of-work artist discovers a secret passageway to a mysterious room. The man with the cruise. Shreya, wheatish, wheatish complexion, who recently turned 28, is a true definition of jack of all trades and master of none. Trying to get a break as an actress in the world of films, she moonlights as a keyboardist in a local band, performing in local high-end pubs. Her band recently broke up, leaving her out of work. With no money to pay the rent, Shreya gets an all expenses paid ticket as a gift from her rich friend who couldn't join the cruise set sail to Cape Town, South Africa. Shreya let go of her pride and embarks on the adventure, hoping to find her next muse. Lady Luck was all in for Shreya. As the crew set sail, she meets Mansi, a singer, who was supposed to perform every evening for the night gala for next 25 days. But their band was about to cancel as their keyboardist missed the cruise. Now Shreya not only had an all expenses paid trip, but also some income to take back home. With difficult artists, with different artists and events lined up for the premium cruise, Shreya was living the life. On her first night itself, after the band gave a heartwarming performance, she met Aman, who was head over heels for her. Days turned into week, and Aman had already proposed the idea of marriage to Shreya. Aman, 32, fit, tall, and handsome, was the eldest son to the businessman who owned the cruise company, and was on his way to celebrate their silver jubilee in the business, silver jubilee in the business to Cape Town. But the Lady Luck was about to leave her side soon. One fine evening of second week, while all the guests were enjoying a fine DJ party, Shreya was with Mansi and Aman. For a moment, Shreya loses her sight of Mansi and Aman. Looking for them, she reaches Aman's suite. Shreya and Aman often spent most of their time in Shreya's suite. This was the longest she spent in Aman's suite. The suite had a big shelf of books and was quite spacious. Shreya smells something different from the room. It was coming from the bookshelf. As she pulls some books out to know the source of the smell, she sees some light come from behind the shelf, and as she pulls another book, the bookshelf slides, revealing a door. She couldn't help and open the door, which leads to a dimly lit cylindrical, hard iron passageway, each step like a nail hammered into the wall. She sees a big green iron room, was mostly empty and had a small desk and chair. She saw the door, and she also saw a door which opened into the ground with a fingerprint scanner. It won't open, said Aman from behind her. And what's under this? She inquired. Goods for business, he replied. She asks about Mansi's whereabouts. Aman replies that she's waiting for her in her room, and they had gone to a doctor as Mansi wasn't feeling well. Shreya knew something was off. She went with Aman to Mansi's room to find she was unwell. In the night, she talks about the mysterious room to Mansi, and they both went off to sleep. Shreya wakes up to find herself tied to the chair in the mysterious room with the door in the ground wide open.
Okay, now, Rishabh, I'm
Yes,
so
sir.
sorry. I could not concentrate fully because I desperately need a pee break. Just give me 2 minutes. I'll come back and then
Yes, sir.
we'll go in bits and pieces once again. Okay, just 2 minutes. Hey, so are you there?
Yes, sir.
हाँ भाई एक बार बता मेरे को थोड़ा सा एक बार मतलब ऐसा नहीं कि मैंने फॉलो नहीं किया है बट एक बार just रफली ऊपर ऊपर स्टोरी क्या है मेरे को बता
So the story is Shreya is out of work artist and उसकी एक दोस्त है जो उसको एक क्रूज पे जाना था बट
हाँ
वो नहीं जा पाती है तो वो अपनी दोस्त को टिकट दे देती है। श्रेया का प्राइड है पर ना उसके समय पैसे बचे रेंट देने के लिए तो वो उस पे चली जाती है थिंकिंग कि कुछ तो समथिंग विल वर्क आउट।
सही ठीक है
So then it's an all expenses paid kind of a trip. तो वहां पर वो जैसी मिलती है
फाइन
पहले दिन
फाइन
ही
फाइन
उसको
समझ गया
मानसी से मिल जाती है।
बस ठीक है
ये सब।
तो प्रॉब्लम यहाँ पे यहीं से ही शुरू हो जाती है कि तुम्हारा ना ये जो तुम्हारा प्लॉट में ट्विस्ट है ना कि यहाँ पे पहले किसी और कारण से वो यहाँ पहुंचती क्रूज पे जिस कारण से पहुंचती है फाइन क्रूज सेट टू से और नहीं मेरा कंफ्यूजन यहाँ से ही आया और थोड़ा यार तुम मैंने कितनी बार बोला सब सिंपल इंग्लिश में रखो ना भाई अभी तो
यस।
सिर्फ 25वां पेज है तीसरा घंटा है ठीक है अभी उसके पास बेचारे के पास पता नहीं और कितने पेजेस बचे होंगे और कितना प्रेशर कैसे फोकस करेंगे यार
हम्म।
इट्स जस्ट अ ह्यूमन बीइंग तो इतना ट्विस्ट करके ऐसे वहां पे फिर आके करने क्या कुछ समझ नहीं और फिर यार नॉट हैड और so यहाँ पे quickly और she meets Mansi and different artists and they lined up the whatever, first night so up gave a heart who was it gave up word to be both to be first size one fine evening second by all the kids find still on chill yes it's yeah often time comes वैसे ही घुस गए इसके यहाँ के बाद थोड़ा सा वैसा हो गया यार just forcing me to reach that secret passage
Yeah, you're right.
rather it should have been all this build up is most of it is pointless to me.
Hmm.
All this build up makes no sense. In fact, this exploration Shreya could be immediately meet Aman somewhere here,
Hmm.
and then she gets into Aman's
Hmm.
somewhere here, and then she starts exploring the suite, and then finally ending up with the passageway. So
Hmm.
it could have happened much earlier, because that is
Yeah,
what
yeah.
is the question, and that is what
Yes.
where you had to
Hmm.
reach me. मुझे ऐसा लग
Yes,
रहा है
sir.
कि अभी अचानक से तुझे करे मेन मुद्दे पे
Hmm.
आते हैं तो ये 4 लाइन में तुमने पैसे जो पहुंच गए
Yes. Yes, sir.
she saw to bring down बोलो अब ये थोड़ा फिल्मी हो गया ये हमें बहुत
I get it. It's full of
नहीं
jumps
देखो
and so
जम्स इशू क्लीशेस इशू नहीं है क्लीशेस का
क्लीशे क्लीशेज ही है ज्यादातर।
नहीं बट क्लीशे का भी
हम्म।
बहुत हैंडी भी होता है तो इशू नहीं है हम लोग पहुंच गए तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है बट कभी कभी उसको इंटेलिजेंटली टैकल करना पड़ता है क्लिशेस को
हम्म।
इंटेलिजेंटली हैंडल करना पड़ता है समझे उसको ऐसे नीचे ऊपर ही चिपका दोगे तो काम नहीं करेगा, फिर वो दिखा देगा कि तुम यू बीइंग अनइमेजिनेटिव,
Hmm.
but you have to be very smart with pictures to actually make you sound or make the reader feel like you are actually being very clear.
Yes, sir.
It's a tricky thing. हम ऐसे ही कहीं भी जाके चिपका नहीं सकते.
Yes, sir.
She asked for answer, right? She's waiting for her, and got to doctor. Well, she had nothing. Something was off. She went with a month to month. She couldn't find that she right. She talks about it, and they both went up. She wakes up, finds some tight to the chair, and then she door. Oh, a tea there.
I know. It was हो गया, sir. I mean, it was very funny how is even writing it. Like when I was clicking a photo of the model. I was in Ville Parle and taking the shoot, or I came back, started writing on the paper again. फिर मैं जाके shoot कर रहा.
Oh, अच्छा. तो क्या मतलब ट्रिगर था वहां पे कुछ कि कैसे या कैसे बीच में था?
I mean, yeah, it was a scheduled shoot and everything, sir. तो rent pay करना होता तो थोड़ी बहुत चीजें नहीं करना पड़ता.
ठीक है. ठीक
I
है
know
मतलब.
it was. I personally didn't like it, but
नहीं ठीक है, fair enough. See, I know वो stress हो those days of work.
hmm.
मतलब, see, we are not trying to judge your by each other because I know it's under pressure that you get. I'm not judging by.
Hmm.
It's just कि ऐसे कि थी इस बार काम नहीं किया. पिछली बार
Yes,
काम
sir.
कर गया था, अगली बार पे काम कर जाएगा तो this
Hmm.
time it was like, oh,
And I also went with this thing like for like I am writing on paper, so I can't cut and restart. If I already have started and I've come halfway through, आने के बाद मैंने realize कर लिया था कि I've wasted 250 words on nothing. And
no, ठीक है, fair enough. I hope you're learning some. I hope your brain is kind of
yes, sir.
making those notes.
Yes, sir.
That-
What I'm realizing is that maybe I'll have to write. I mean, my thinking works better with writing. I mean, आप हमेशा कहते हो कि पहले अपने दिमाग में सोच लो कहानी कहाँ जा रही हो रही है. But it naturally happens better when I already start to write, and I know that won't help me anywhere in the paper.
No,
So-
fair enough. If it naturally happens that way, stick to that. Don't-
Yeah, sir. But like, I cut and sometimes make a better story out of it, you know. But I won't have that space in the paper. So I believe that maybe I'll start writing on my hand before I really start writing on the paper. Yeah. Anyway, sir, thank you.
ठीक है, thanks. I think it's too late for an extra question today. But still, anyways, does anyone has question? Or should we just fight it up? Anybody? Okay. So let us go to the chat. Okay, guys, then let's call it a day. Have fun, enjoy, and prepare harder.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.